This might be the most fun I've had at work in years. A lot of laughter today at Edmonton Sports Talk. No laughing matter for the Edmonton Oilers tonight. No fun to be had in Vegas. Get out there and win a hockey game. Oilers at Golden Knights at 8 o'clock. The Oilers going after their fourth consecutive victory. We will have the Oil Stream pregame show with Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas at 7 o'clock. Tom's going to join us later on in the show. We'll also get some perspective on the Golden Knights from Danny Webster from the Las Vegas Review-Journal. Jed Roberts, our weekly guest on the show, will join us in studio at around 20 after 4. We'll talk some hockey with him and, of course, get his perspective on the Elks hiring Mark Kilam. Jed was one of many alum at the announcement yesterday in the locker room at Commonwealth Stadium. We have an interesting off-topic topic related to something we have going on in the studio today, and we'll have my top 3 for food sausage involving radical rule changes because of something that is apparently getting some buzz in Major League Baseball. That's part of the menu today. I'm sure some unexpected items will pop up as well. You can make your contributions by texting the EST inbox 780-218-9999. You can participate in the nasty chat. If you are consuming the show on YouTube, please give us a thumbs up there as well. We set a new show record yesterday with 130 thumbs, and they're all in the trunk of my car. You can also email the show, Reid at EdmontonSportsTalk.com. That's not true. They're just virtual thumbs on YouTube, if people were concerned about that joke. Woo! How are you doing, Jay?
Good. We've had some laughs today.
We've had some laughs today. Did you post the Instagram video?
Oh, I didn't post it yet. I'm going to post
you
that.
better post it right now. You have some technological work to do.
I left my show set up. Remember I said I forgot something? Not only did I forget the Instagram promoting our show.
Because I've been distracting you for about the last 2 hours with my incredibly immature brand of humor.
Tell them a bit of what it was. You were setting up Matt Iwanek fight.
Yes, so I can't get into every single detail.
Of course not.
But Matt's talked about this, and I talked a little bit, that he introduced me to Chat GPT.
And for a moment, a slippery slope.
And for a while, I was obsessed with trying to get the Chat GPT to make a CFL schedule. And it's a lot harder than it would sound. It couldn't really do it. But at some point in the last couple of weeks, I told Chat GPT, I said, who is my Matthew Iwanek is my buddy, and he wants to fight the 8 greatest heavyweights of all time. Can you please schedule fights for him over 2 years? So it's scheduled Ali at Madison Square Garden and Tyson in Vegas and one of the Klitschko's in Moscow and all this kind of stuff. So now it thinks legitimately that Matthew is a heavyweight boxer. So I put in something like, who would win a boxing tournament involving all the employees of Edmonton Sports Talk, and it says, well, given Matthew Iwanek's pedigree as a heavyweight boxer, he would be the clear favorite. So it's like I've created this alternate reality where Matthew's, or maybe this is the alternate reality, and Chat GPT is real. We can't know anymore. Anyway, so that's part of the reason why I'm laughing so much today. Coyote Steve says, Reid and Jay, are you going to announce your Team Canada rosters for fun? Coyote Steve, I'm going to tell you something. And I'm going to I feel like of all the nasties, I have disappointed Coyote Steve more than anybody else.
Possibly.
Because he always has a trade suggestion. Not always. And I'm always like, I don't know, Coyote Steve. I don't know if Jay and I explicitly said this to each other, but we kind of maybe just unspokenly have decided not to do mock rosters, because why be 2 other voices in the thousands of putting together their own mock rosters? I will tell you this, though, Cody, Steve, and everybody else.
We've got an opinion on it.
Jay especially, I think. But more surrounding the whole tournament, which is still, over 2 months away? Yeah, because it's mid-February. But what's cool is the roster is being announced during the show tomorrow at 4:30. So we'll be able to follow along and tell you what's going on if you can't watch it yourself.
Hopefully.
And we're going to be able to watch it, because that's what I wanted to get to. Jay is setting up the TV we were gifted yesterday by a very generous nasty.
Yes. Bye-bye, Joaquin.
See you, Gager.
Looks good.
Yeah, I thought you'd want to stick around and, given your background, you could help us set this dang thing up. I'm on my own now.
Is Gager, what's happening right now?
So We got it plugged in. We've got Wi-Fi hooked up.
Well, then we can watch it.
I got to download apps now.
Can we watch cable on it?
No.
But we're going to need to watch Sportsnet and such.
Yeah, but
and
I'll
so
run
forth.
those through my cable subscription through Bell.
Oh, okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
As long as I just get to enjoy it.
Yeah.
Gage, you're a great show, buddy.
Hey, you guys are awesome.
We try. We try. All right. Oh, my goodness. So that's what one thing we're doing today. If you follow Edmonton Sports Talk on Instagram, it is just Edmonton Sports Talk as well.
Hang on, we got a timer on. Oh, God, what have I done?
You have 29 minutes. It's counting down. It's so nervous
So
when
what do I
anybody
do?
puts up a countdown.
Scanning the QR.
Makes you feel like something's going to explode.
Oh, boy, I'm sorry. I might be in and out. This is
Well,
going
it's
to be
okay. I have hosted shows myself before. Having said that, it was only an hour long. So Jay has to scan a QR code to try to set up the Samsung 43-inch television that we were gifted yesterday. All right. 780-218-9999. Get into the nasty chat on YouTube. Please give us a thumbs up as we'll try to push for a new record today, at least getting to 100, and maybe we can get to a new record. Reid at EdmontonSportsTalk.com, again, is the email. I've had some awesome limericks coming in there from many of you over the last few weeks, so keep those coming as well. James H. Brown Personal Injury Law Firm is the presenting sponsor of our studio for the Reid Wilkins Show. The heavy hitters of injury law with over 200 years of experience, James H. Brown will get you the settlement you deserve. Visit them at jameshbrown.com today and book your private consultation. I want to I better do mystery players because sometimes I get neglectful with that. Every Oilers game day, we have the Hudson's Canada's Pub mystery athlete of the game. So I give a clue every so often throughout the show, a different clue every so often throughout the show. And through those, you have to determine who the mystery athlete of the game is. It could be related to that night's game. It could be related to something going on in the world of sports. It could just be an athlete that I wanted to pick. So you just kind of got to pay attention and see who you can get. And you were trying to win a $25 gift card to Hudson's Canada's Pub. You're invited down tonight for the Oilers game, first of all, and you can join them Fridays and Saturdays from 9 p.m. for the late night happy hour. The late night happy hour specials, food starting at $4, drinks from $3.75. Book your reservation now at Hudson's Canada's Pub.com. The first clue is Hall of Fame. I think I've had this as a first clue before. It's a nice general way to start. If someone gets it on this first clue, we may have to give them 2 GCs or get them a Dolores auto-pecked poster as well from Dolores the Hen, who's working out at the counter here at Edmonton Sports Talk. So clue number 1 is Hall of Fame. All right? Now, do you need some time here, Jay? Do you need some alone time to get the TV working? Or
No, I'm just making.
Can I talk to you about something?
No. You can talk for sure. I'm just making a Samsung account.
You have to make a Samsung account.
Yeah, I'm going all over the map here, Reid.
Okay. Well, congratulations, first of all. Now, we're going to dive into this. Oh, there you are.
Oh.
You're now signed into your Samsung account.
Sweet.
I almost said your email on air. That's not your work email. I won't give that one out. Jason at EdmontonSportsTalk.com is his, or is it Jay or Jason? No, it's Jay. What's the email if people would like to get involved and perhaps some opportunities for sponsorship on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton Sports?
You would put business at EdmontonSportsTalk.com.
And people have.
Yeah, several.
People have said, hey, I want to get involved. So, yeah.
Yeah, there's going to be, should be an interesting new year. We should have a few new faces and names around here, so that'll be nice.
So, Hall of Fame is the first clue for the Hudson's Canada's Pub mystery athlete of the game. Before we get to the off-topic topic, which involves electronics today, what Jay is trying to do, I just want to give Jay a quick opportunity here before and he will dive into this in more detail a little bit later on. About the Four Nations face. So rosters tomorrow. Canada's the big one. That's going to be at 4:30. And I've kind of taken some, amusement in watching you in the bullpen, read up on, learn more, go over the potential rosters for the Four Nations face-off, including the correct spelling or the correct, would that be nomenclature for the tournament?
Yes.
Which
not FOUR, 4, the number 4.
Right.
Nations face-off. Sometimes confused with cup. With me.
No, it's the Four Nations face-off.
I know.
You don't call it the Four Nations Cup or the Four Nations tournament. It's the Four Nations face-off.
I've got that.
We've got that down with
Yes.
the number 4. I still type out the word 4.
That's incorrect.
I'm doing it incorrectly.
Yeah.
Irregardless, I'm going to keep doing it that way.
Yeah. Okay, continue.
Well, no, I just you're not.
There's just so many things about this that just I don't understand. I get it. You're going to see, what people are calling best on best. I disagree wholeheartedly. But you're going to get competitive hockey, supposedly. It's not just going to be shinny hockey, apparently. And, okay, do you want me to give one real quick beef?
Oh, for sure.
Why would you go ahead and name 6 players to the team when? In September? October?
When did they name them? Was it in July?
Yeah, what's the point of this? Hey, Reid, what's the point?
Well, the point is to see international hockey.
No, I mean,
I think it was June 28th. They unveiled the first 6 players.
What's the Braden point about this? Because if you just made the team now, Braden Point would not make the team. Based on of what you're looking at as far as numbers, points,
He would
the
still
best
be on
players.
the team.
Maybe.
Would Brad Marchand?
He shouldn't be on the team.
That's a reputation pick.
Why is he on the team? If you look at all, and I left my notes, but I'll get them
You'll
for the
go
next
get
one.
them during the commercial.
If you look at
Or
all
once
the
the
points,
TV is set up, you can go get your notes. That'll be your reward.
Thank you, my liege.
Coop's
Oh,
going to
Coop.
get them. Thanks, Kubo.
Okay, maybe Braden Point, sure. Maybe he's just underachieving at this point in the season. But Brad Marchand, is this a legacy pick?
Yes. But
Are we here to fulfill legacy dreams?
Yeah.
Is that the goal?
Oh, thanks. Oh, Coop, you could have walked into the shot. I hope those are the correct notes. I hope it's not the stuff I printed up with who Matthew Awadik's going to have bare-knuckle boxing matches
Leave
against.
that to your imagination. I mean, Braden Point's got 21 points. Brad Marchand has 17 points and is -3. I know minus plus minus doesn't mean much to you, but it's considerably lower and less than the other forwards that are on that roster.
Yeah. I guess I was surprised they named that many players to it. Because if they want it to be a best-on-best tournament, then hypothetically you should wait until the last minute possible to pick the roster to make sure you have the best players.
And okay, I just don't. I'm not poo-pooing on the whole thing. Once it comes, I said this
You're
to you.
kind of
No, I'm poo-pooing on the process.
You're one pooing
I'm
on
single pooing on the process because the process is what's ticked me off. Once there's live hockey for that week, of course, I'll be interested. I mean, heck, it's my job now, but I would be interested otherwise. I just don't know why. Why do you go out of your way to name 6 people? One of which is a definite question mark as to why he's on this team. So you can no longer say best on best, even from Team Canada's standpoint. Brad Marchand is not one of the best 12 forwards in Canada that play in the NHL. Right?
Right.
So I just don't understand that because now you're handcuffed to it.
Yes.
So,
All right.
amongst other things.
No, I get it. I think you will have some people who see it your way.
Yeah.
The more we dive into this as well. We'll probably do that for buying or selling for Damon Bunting around 4 o'clock today. Coyote Steve says, Jay, it's to sell tickets. They need big names. Yeah, so get some hype ahead of time. Rip City Step says Debbie Downer.
Yeah, I figured I'd get that.
Just Spency 5 cents. He says, I would like to triple poo on the process. Poo, poo, poo. Anyway.
The triple poo.
And we will get more into the Oilers matchup tonight against the Golden Knights. Should be a fun game between those two teams. Of course, they played earlier this season at Rogers Place. And that one was going well for the Oilers till they blew a lead in the third period. Buck Pierce expected to be the coach. That's not official, right? But heavily rumored and reported.
No, but it's one
Buck
of those people,
Pierce.
when they speak, you listen.
Okay, was it Farhan?
Farhan.
Buck Pierce to the Lions as the head coach, and general manager of the Canucks, Patrick Alvin, says that defenseman Philip Hronik, good player, underwent a successful lower body procedure will not require surgery on his upper body injury, but he's going to be out approximately 8 weeks. And, of course, they already don't have JT Miller because of that personal leave. So shifting gears to the off-topic topic, which we were sort of talking about earlier, and any off-topic topic we have is presented by William Huff. Since 1952, William Huff has provided industry-leading graphics with design, print, and install, all in-house for thousands of valued clients. Their unparalleled customer service, combined with decades of industry expertise and a desire to make every job the very best it can be, is what they call the William Huff advantage. Visit their website at williamhuff.com or give them a shout at 780-454-4536. Your biggest nightmare or story involving setting up electronics, since Jay is trying to set up a TV live during the show today. So I don't have, these aren't exact stories that I have, but I'm thinking about scenarios to maybe spark your memory or your recantation of your own life. You know, you had to, you were in charge of something at a slideshow at a wedding and something went wrong, or you had to set it up, or maybe, you're a teacher and you were going to let the kids watch The Phantom Menace on the last day before Christmas and you couldn't get the VHS, or something, or setting up a computer. Everybody's had a frustration setting up a computer or a stereo system or something like that. But a nightmare or a story involving setting up electronics. It could be a happy story.
Yeah.
It could have a happy resolution, but most of these, I'm sure, will involve frustration or overcoming frustration. Because I get very frustrated when something electronic takes fret to set up.
It's terrifying. Yes. Like this right now, this to me, I'd rather eat artichoke hearts, sardines.
Artichokes are good.
That stuff's easy. I can do that. But this, it's just, my mind gets in a pretzel. Like, I'm looking at this screen right now. And I don't know. I don't know if I can conquer this level.
I don't know what's happening now. It wants you to...
Well, it says save your settings and easily restore them.
See, this is the problem now with TVs, because you have to connect them to Wi-Fi, and there's this whole streaming element to them.
I already hooked it up to Wi-Fi.
It's not just screw in the cable and plug it in, or make sure the rabbit ears are in place and then change the channel. We might have been better to have a physical
the good
flip
old
changer.
days.
What do
Hey,
you call
Reid.
the actual dial changers?
Mm-hmm.
Would have been a lot simpler.
And the BC Lions have just officially announced
Oh, is
Buck
it's
Pierce
now out there? Okay.
is the 28th head coach in franchise
Sorry
history.
if I missed that. But anyway.
No, it just happened. Thanks, Charlie.
They just did it. Okay.
Yep.
All right, perfect. 780-218-9999. In the Nasty Chat on YouTube. Participate with us and with others. It often just gets going amongst the nasties in there. We are at 38 thumbs up already, so keep them coming hot and heavy. We want to get well over 100 today. Again, we got Zachary Kubish providing you with a sports update.
Zach Hyman will miss another game for the Oilers as they face the Golden Knights with a chance to win 4 straight games for the first time this season. And you can join Tom Gazzola for the game down at Boston Pizza Westgate for the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show at 7 with Hernan Salas, only on EST. Vancouver's Philip Hronik is out 8 weeks after successfully undergoing a lower body procedure, while Trevor Lewis of the Kings is out 4 to 6 weeks with a lower body injury. On tap, Vancouver visits Minnesota. The Blues play the Jets, and the Kraken battle the Hurricanes. In the CFL, Buck Pierce has been named as the BC Lions' newest head coach. Pierce previously won a Grey Cup playing with the Lions in 2006 before spending the last 10 years as a part of the Blue Bombers' coaching staff. On the court, the Raptors are back in action when they tip off against the Pacers on an 11-game NBA slate. This sports update is brought to you by Sit and Sleep, where you can save big with their Black Friday sale. Get a queen-size Eurotop mattress with patented non-flip pocket coils, gel memory foam, and 5 comfort zones slashed down to half price for only $3.99. Find great deals like this and more at Sit and Sleep. Find them in South Edmonton Common, next to Planet Fitness. The Reid Wilkins Show with Jay Milne continues after the break. I'm Zachary Kubish. keeping you in the loop.
GCL Diesel has been serving oil country since 1972. From diesel cars to SUVs to pickups. From farm tractors to school buses to a big rig. From diesel generators to forklifts, GCL can test, troubleshoot, and repair all diesel fuel system components. Whether it's injectors, pumps, turbos, filters, or additive, GCL has the parts you need to keep your diesel running the way it should. For genuine diesel parts at wholesale prices, visit GCL Diesel in the West End or online at GCLDiesel.com. GCL Diesel. Diesel understood.
Food Sausages makes their meat with nothing but the best local ingredients. From chicken, beef, and pork, their gluten-free sausages are packed with flavor. Every single bite. Get a 10% discount when mentioning Edmonton Sports Talk in-store or use the code EST when shopping online at foodsausages.ca. Plus, you get free delivery on orders of $100 or more. Find them at 6736 99th Street. Food Sausages. You can't beat our meat.
Hey Edmonton, ready to take advantage of lower rates and better pricing? South Fort Chevrolet in Fort Saskatchewan has you covered. From rugged trucks to sleek SUVs. And with over 40 years in business, you can trust that you're getting the best deal on your new ride. As the proud title sponsor of the Nielsen Show, EST listeners can drive a little to save a lot with South Fort Chevrolet's transparent pricing and down-to-earth sales team. Visit us today in Fort Saskatchewan or online at southfortchev.com.
You know, this year, I want to give the gift of Christmas spirit.
Okay, well, what's the going price for Christmas spirit?
Actually, surprisingly affordable. $25 brings Christmas to life for a senior living at a Capital Care Center.
Oh, that's amazing.
Oh, yeah, and they have a community shuttle, so Christmas spirit continues all year long. They can go out and do things and just be reminded there's an entire village of people who care about them.
Become a part of our village at Capital Care Center. Donate at capitalcarefoundation.net.
Appreciate it. Jenna in the nasty chat. My goodness, that's all I'm going to say to you. Jay Milne, somewhat distracted. If you're watching on YouTube and wondering why he's facing off camera, there is a television there, a brand new one he's trying to set up. The screen is very purple and animated right now, which is fun. Our off-topic topic, give us a nightmare or a story involving setting up electronics, as Jay is attempting to do right now. Oh, you got something. It's recommending Skeleton Crew,
stuff.
The new Star Wars show on Disney Plus featuring Jude Law and a lovable band of children.
How do I... Okay, so I'm going to attempt to search here. We're going to go with, we'll just start with Sportsnet, right?
Yeah, we want Sportsnet. Can't we... Well, doesn't it just give you all the channels that you have?
No.
Oh.
I can't... I don't even know what I'm doing.
Oh, sorry.
If I could link this to my home TV,
I thought
I
that's
would
what
in a
you were
heartbeat.
doing,
No,
to
I'm
your
trying
own cable.
You got to find apps.
Why is everything an app now? Just give me a list of channels. I want to watch that. Bang, I watch it. I want to turn to channel 13. Bang, I turn, and there it is.
Reid, if only.
If only I ran all televisions in the world.
Boy.
There was a time, did I tell the curling story on air about the woman that wanted curling?
Sportsnet.
I'll tell it again. Yeah, watch that. So it was during either the Brier or the Scotties, and I was working in Lloydminster, and the phone rang to the sports department. And there was a very angry woman on the phone who said, why is the game between whatever provinces is on? And I said, that's what TSN chose to play, I guess. And she said, well, can you put on the, Alberta whoever game?
Okay, I found out. I'm installing
it.
the Sportsnet app.
And I said, I'm not TSN. You've got the Lloydminster TV station, right? And she would not accept that I could not just go somewhere in the Lloydminster television station and flick a switch, and then TSN would be showing the curling game she wanted to watch.
Essentially, that's what you were asking
me to do. She was very, very angry. Yeah, but you have an app. There's an app for that. See, 20 years ago,
I have an app on my phone.
I wish I could go back 20 years and could have said, ma'am, someday there'll be an app for that. Jenna says, is Channel 13 CBC for everyone or just the Maritimes? I don't know.
Channel 13,
was
was
ITV when we were lads.
which is now global.
Which I don't even know what the numbers are anymore. Like if you said, what's on channel 254, I would say, I don't know.
I know that TSN HD is 1400 for me.
Well,
That's
I think
usually
it's in the
where I
200s
start.
for me. Okay.
And then I go up or down.
Yeah. Because when I was a kid.
Okay, it's installed. I'm going to open the Sportsnet app, and hopefully I can hook up with my service provider.
Channel 3 was CTV or CFRN. Channel 5 was CBC Edmonton.
Add to
and Channel 13 was ITV. And they had the Oilers regional games.
Okay, there it is. It's on our home screen.
So now we can watch Sportsnet West or
Hold your horses, bucko. We just got it on the home screen.
Okay. We have to have it on tomorrow for the roster announcement.
Of course.
Okay.
Hey, we got 24 hours, baby.
We got a lot of time.
Okay, we're in the Sportsnet app. Now I just got to see if we can actually watch something on it. This is intriguing.
This is really exciting. All right. We are going to dive into, by the way, the Oil Understood for GCL Diesel, providers of the best diesel engine components around. From turbochargers to injectors, fuel pumps to sensors, they are the critical engine component experts, proud to serve Edmonton and Northern Alberta for over 50 years, and now a proud partner of Edmonton Sports Talk and the Reid Wilkins Show, GCL Diesel. Diesel. Understood. Oilers at Golden Knights, 8 o'clock tonight. Oilers are expected to go with the same lineup that won on Saturday against the Colorado Avalanche. So Zach Hyman did make the trip. Practice yesterday, not expected to play tonight, so another game out for him. So Kapanen expected to be up there with McDavid and Nugent-Hopkins again. Caggiula obviously remaining in the lineup. Podkolzin with Draisaitl and Brown. And Stuart Skinner in net once again as they take on the Golden Knights. And this is their first game in the month of December, right?
Tis. Yeah, and we should look at the December schedule because we were a little off on the Oilers outplayed our, not predictions, but our analysis looking at the schedule moving forward in November. They did much better. So they played 13 games total in December. Tonight is the first one. 9 home games, 4 away games.
This is a home-heavy month for the Edmonton Oilers.
Huge.
Because it's a home game today, it's a road game today, and then is it 3 straight home games?
3 straight home.
And then 5 straight, then one in
away
Minnesota.
in Minnesota, 5 home.
So after tonight, 8 of the next 9 are at home.
Yeah.
But the Oilers, have they not been, where's my game notes here? They're better away from home, aren't they? The Oilers are 5-6-1 at home and 8-3-1 on the road. That's a really good road record. Vegas 9-3 at home. It's a good matchup tonight.
Well, it's an interesting matchup tonight because both are stronger. Vegas is stronger at home. Oilers are stronger on the road as of right now. Reid, 13 games, 9 home, 4 away. What do you think they can do in the month of December?
So what did they went 8-4-1 in November, which is actually pretty good.
Yes.
Okay, so that's actually that was a pretty good month.
Very
to
good.
to go 4 games over 500.
Considering they lost 2 out of the first 3 games in the month.
That's right.
Right?
That's right.
So that was when it was the day before Vancouver on Saturday Night Hockey that we made the rest of the month predictions, and they hadn't had a strong start. So now this is wiping the slate clean. This is a fresh December with winnable games and lots of home games.
Yes. So So really, it's going to come down to can they start playing better at home?
That's right.
They play Vegas twice. They play Vegas tonight, and they get again on the 14th, a Saturday afternoon game at Rogers Place. Columbus is coming in on Thursday. St. Louis coming in on Saturday. Tampa Bay on Tuesday. So here's what. And then they got Minnesota next Thursday, and then they have. I mean, to me, 4 of the next 7 games are really tough because you got Vegas twice, and you got Minnesota, and you have Florida. And I know Florida, as we were talking about, has slightly dropped off since a really hot start, but they're still pretty good.
They're going to turn that around, just like knew the Oilers were going to turn it around.
Right. St. Louis is a game below 500, 4 points behind the Oilers. Who else did I say we have coming in? You have Columbus, who throttled the Oilers earlier this season and are hanging around in the wild card race in the Eastern Conference. They're 11-9-3, so good for them. And then you have Tampa Bay coming in as well, and the Lightning are also just out of the playoffs. So you have 3 you have 3 home games against non-playoff teams coming up, but not far out of the playoffs, right? So you got to start making some hay at home.
Well, and there's a good opportunity here with Vegas away tonight and then a week and a half from now at home for the Oilers to steal. I mean, these are now, you can talk about them as 4-point games.
The 4-point games within the division. Sure.
Right?
Yeah.
Those are big games.
And then the last 3 games before Christmas, Boston, home to San Jose, and home to Ottawa, who all those
LA. Away to LA.
Away to LA after Christmas.
Anaheim.
So LA is doing well. I think it's another month. I think if the Oilers can go 3 games over 500 this month, then you're starting to bank a few more points. So let's say they're 13-9-2. So what if they went 7-4-2 this month, for example? They'd be up to 20-13-4. Not bad, approaching the halfway point. Not great, but not bad. Certainly, I think on a playoff pace.
I had them at 8-3-2. Similar to the month of November.
Yeah.
A win tonight would go a long way, I think.
Well, this should be one of the tougher games of the month if you just go based on the current standings.
Interesting. Jared chimes in the nasty chat. He says, "Is this a must win? Can't lose or have to have?"
This is This is.
We forgot about the have to.
We forgot about a have to have.
It's not a must win. Clearly, I don't know that it's a can't lose, but I think it's a have to have. You have to have it if you want to have a good month.
You certainly like to have it.
So it's a have to have. There you go.
I think if they could split the 2 games against Vegas, that'd be great. To me, the games that I would expect the Oilers to win this month, or what should I say? I guess the have to haves this month for me would be Thursday against Columbus, the weekend games against San Jose and Ottawa right before Christmas, and the road game against Anaheim. Then you got 4 wins right away, right there. But I think now, I know somebody posted in the nasty chat, they need a 16-game winning streak. I'm certainly not banking on that. But I think if they can go 4 games over 500 every month between now and the rest of the season, then you're going to get to around 100 points.
Yeah, you've said that since the end of October. That you just need to start trending in the right direction.
Start trending in the right
month over month.
Get a little over 60% of your points, and then you'll be fine.
Yep. The off-topic topic today was stories about electronics and whether nightmares or happy. This one is just exceptional. Hey, guys, had a buddy call me over for a drink on my birthday. He knew I am proficient with electronics, so he asked me to hook up his new sound system while I was visiting. No problem, right? Holy Hannah, this guy did everything imaginable. That's a goof up, thank you. To sabotage the setup while I worked on it, pulling wires and undoing pretty much everything I had done. Just as I was about to lose my you-know-what on him, he suggested we take a beer break outside and calm down. Good call. As we walked outside, I was instantly started by a massive chorus of surprise. That sweet old buddy of mine had orchestrated a surprise birthday party for me and knew I would easily fall for the ruse of helping him with the sound setup. What a friend. That's RC and Ladner. Great story.
Oh, that's a good story. That is a really good story. That ties in a few different things. Should I give another clue?
Sure.
I will do clue number 2 in the Hudson's Canada's Pub Mystery Athlete of the Game. And then after the break, we're going to talk to Danny Webster from the Las Vegas Review-Journal. He covers the Golden Knights, so it'll be cool to get his perspective on this game in the Pacific Division. Clue number 2 for the Hudson's Canada's Pub Mystery Athlete of the Game. And I want to remind you that you can only win by text. So the winner of the last one, or no, it was Friday. Yeah, that was Friday. It's Max Bezzozu. Put it in the nasty chat and then still got it into the text fast enough to win. So, yeah, and 3 guesses maximum. Rookie of the Year is the second clue. So the 2 clues so far have been Hall of Fame and Rookie of the Year. Stay tuned for more. Jay's putting that in the nasty chat.
I am.
So tomorrow, are we going to be able to watch the announcement through this app, or is this just
Reid, I'm
going to
have this thing. I'm going to have this thing humming by the end of the day.
Let's watch Sportsnet right now.
I'm trying.
There's probably some countdown show or Texas Hold'em on. That's the only thing that's on during the day.
What do you think I'm trying to do?
Oh, I just thought you were trying to get it set up.
I am.
Oh, okay.
Live and upcoming.
They're live right now. Real Kipper and Bourne.
Real. Okay. I'm
Can
going
we
to
watch
try
it?
do that while the break's on.
Okay. We'll try to hit enter on the remote while the break
And I
is
have
on.
been receiving many different tips and techniques in the EST inbox. Brilando does chime in and said Marchand was our best winger in the last international best on best.
Oh,
What?
the last World Cup. Yes.
So he's making a
Well,
case
then
for Marchand being on the team.
Should Steve Larmer be in the tournament because he scored the winner in the 91 Canada Cup? Sorry, I couldn't help myself. We have the one and only Coop with a sports update.
The Oilers look to win 4 straight when they face the Golden Knights. And you can swing by Boston Pizza Westgate to join Tom Gazzola for the action as he goes live for the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show just an hour before puck drop, right here on EST. And Vancouver will be without Filip Hronek for 8 weeks after he successfully underwent a lower body procedure. And the Canucks are in action tonight with the Wild, while the Jets get set to face the Blues, and the Bruins go head-to-head against the Red Wings. In BC, Buck Pierce has been named the head coach of the Lions. Pierce comes from an offensive coordinator position with the Blue Bombers and previously suited up for the Lions on his way to a 2006 Grey Cup victory. Basketball sees the Raptors back in action against the Pacers with 11 games around the association. This sports update is brought to you by Wheelers RV and Boat Storage. Conveniently located 10 minutes west of St. Albert, Wheelers RV is your safe and secure place to store your RV, boat, or whatever it is you want to store. Visit them at wheelersrvstorage.com to take advantage of their limited time offer. Buy 6 months and get one free. Go to wheelersrvstorage.com today and get your storage needs taken care of. Danny Webster from the Las Vegas Review-Journal joins the Reid Wilkins Show after the break. I'm Zachary Kubish, keeping you in the loop.
You want the heavy hitters on your team, both on and off the ice. If you've been injured in a car accident, call the heavy hitters of injury law. James H. Brown and Associates, Alberta Injury Lawyers. With over 200 years of combined injury law experience, their precedent-setting lawyers are ready to help. Locally owned and proud Edmonton Oilers fans, James H. Brown and Associates wants to support you with their unrivaled experience, unrivaled results, and unrivaled commitment. When accidents happen, head to jameshbrown.com.
The grand opening sale at Sit and Sleep is almost over. This is your last chance to take advantage of the special introductory sale prices on all mattresses. Stop in today for a free pressure point scan using cutting-edge technology so sleepologists can identify the perfect mattress for you. Right now, get free local delivery on any mattress over $7.99 and receive a free bamboo cooling mattress protector. Enjoy grand opening savings with every mattress on sale. Join us on location today for the final celebrations at Sit and Sleep in South Common next to Planet Fitness. Don't miss out. The grand opening sale ends soon.
Gallo LLP is an Alberta-based accounting firm with expert chartered professional accountants in both our Edmonton and Sherwood Park accounting firms. Our experienced and innovative accountants provide financial advice that saves our clients money. Simply put, we help our clients protect their assets and grow their businesses. At Gallo LLP, they go beyond the numbers to ensure the continued success of your business. Reach out to Preet or John to discuss how they can help your business grow. Visit gallollp.ca today and see how they can help you take your business to the next level.
Tommy Gunn's Barbershop is more than just a barbershop. It's a top-notch, tailor-made experience from check-in to check-out. Get a precision haircut, a classic shave, or a facial to step up your style. Just walk in, relax, and let Tommy Guns take it from there. Find comfort in knowing their team follows the code, which is their commitment to care for you as a customer. Check out Tommy Guns today, in-store or online at TommyGuns.com to bring out the best in you. Tommy Guns, where every cut is done right every time.
We're going to have our guest on experience with electronics. One day I tuned in to listen to sports talk and ended up listening to two old guys trying to set up a smart TV. Oh, I wonder what show he was trying to listen to.
Trying to set up a smart TV, Reid?
It's set up, baby.
We're watching.
We're watching Sportsnet. Now, we lobbied for this / I whined for it so we could watch live sports. Are there any live sports we can watch right now? Dog racing.
Big Maple said earlier in the Nasty Chat that for a small fee, he could really put a lot of things on here. So we might have to talk.
What do you mean?
I don't know.
He could put a lot of things on here.
Reid, you need to understand that I am just passable when it comes to electronics and stuff like this. Barely passable. Intimidated? Yes. Perseverant? Yes.
Yeah, you're a very perseverance-filled person.
I'm not a techie guy.
No, but you're a dogged hard worker.
Dogged, yeah. Whoa.
You do not give up.
I will
which
not.
I appreciate. So the TV's working. So we got what?
Oh,
well,
IPTV.
Said something that we didn't. Oh, IPTV? What is that?
Hey, hang on. Come on the mic.
IPTV.
Oh, no. You can't do this. Zach gets annoyed when you talk like that. Get on the mic.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
All right.
Big talking.
All right. Wow. Hold on. We'll resume this later. We have a special guest waiting who probably thinks, oh, my God.
What
is
have I
this how they
myself?
act in Edmonton?
Yeah.
Danny Webster covers the Golden Knights for the Las Vegas Review-Journal. Danny, you're on with Reid and Jay. How are you doing, sir?
He looks frozen.
He is frozen. Well, so much for that. He's saying he sent me a message. It says I'm unable to connect to the session. So maybe just call him, Coob, and we'll do a quick one with him over the phone as the Oilers play the Golden Knights tonight. That's as a sports radio talk show host, that's my biggest nightmare involving electronics, is that something will go wrong with technology when you want to interview somebody.
Terrifying.
You know, we still do phone interviews. Will a cell phone not work? Will somebody's battery run out? Will the reception be bad?
Well,
that's my nightmare.
Coyote Steve chimed in. He said, my nightmare was my dad buying his first HD TV and calling me to complain that the picture was no better. It took a long time to convince him that he needed an HD cable receiver.
Well, and you know what? When HD
get that.
TV first came out, I didn't realize you had to have an HD receiver. I just thought you went and bought a nice TV and you got HD. But no, you have to have the box that transmits it that way. Correct?
Yes, apparently. I
Yes.
wouldn't. I just say, hey, can you help?
All right. Do we have Danny on the phone?
Yes.
All right. Well, Danny, you made a brief cameo in a frozen picture, but now we got you. I'm Reid. Jay is here as well. How are you doing?
Doing good, guys. How you doing?
I'm doing great. We're going to talk hockey. I want to dive into a couple other things with you as well. What was it last? It was either a week and a half ago or 2.5 weeks ago, right? The Formula One race was there through Vegas. I don't know how much this affected your work and or life. But what was it like? What's it like having the F1 there in Vegas and using part of the strip and all that kind of stuff?
Yeah, fortunately, I did not have to be at the Madhouse on the Strip that night. That was quite crazy from what I heard. But from what I've gathered, 2 years ago, it was definitely a problem. It was something that, I don't think the city was prepared for. I don't think the people were prepared for. And internally, there was a lot of mess to that. This year, from what I gathered, it seemed like it was a much smoother transition to get the track ready. It just seemed like a smoother transition to adjust to everything, getting the strip ready and for what they needed to do. It's become a grand spectacle here for the last couple of years, and for what it's turned into, which at the very beginning started as, this pipe dream of, is it actually going to work? You can actually put a racetrack on the Strip to, 2 years in now, it's been smooth. I think a lot of people enjoy it. A lot of people come down to the track each year to see how it is. And, you get to see it from the Sphere. You get to see it from a lot of other places. So I think from what I gathered, it was definitely a successful night for Formula One here.
Danny, how long have you lived in Las Vegas, if you don't mind me asking?
What was that you were breaking up?
Sorry, how long have you lived in Las Vegas?
Oh, born and raised all my life.
Okay. So I want to ask you this before we dive into the Golden Knights stuff. And you're on air in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. It's much warmer today, but for most of the last few days, it was about minus 15 to minus 20 Celsius. Okay, so that's, I don't know what that is Fahrenheit, but it's cold. So as I'm sure you know, a lot of people from Canada go to Vegas. And there's always a lot to do there. But over the last, 7 or 8 years, the Golden Knights are there. The Raiders have gone there. F1 has gone there. The Athletics are going to be there eventually. I can't remember what the year is. The NBA has had events there. It's a city with a lot to do that's added a lot of pro sports, which I don't know what kind of my question is, but I just sort of want to get your perspective of Vegas being this city that it's like, well, we're it's never going to have pro sports, and now it has all this pro sports and probably more to come.
Yeah, I mean, even going back to like the early parts of my life, like right as I, becoming a teenager, it was one of those situations where the only shows in town were UNLV basketball, and that was about it. Sometimes you'd have the big prize fights here. Sometimes you would have maybe an NBA preseason game here, and you still do. But what I think has happened over the last 8 years is the Golden Knights really took a chance that pro hockey, not even just pro hockey, pro sports in general, could work here. And you had to deal with all the narratives about the gambling and, the in-game betting and things of that nature. And, you're seeing now with all these leagues kind of curtailing toward, gambling and in-game betting and all that stuff, that it wasn't just a Vegas issue. It was just a Vegas mantra. What you've seen now with the Golden Knights, especially being as successful as they are, it's definitely started a chain reaction. Now, I don't know how successful that chain reaction is going to be when you look down the road and you see that the Raiders are struggling. You see that the A's are a last place team and you don't know what things are going to look like in 3 years. Fortunately, the Las Vegas Aces have 2 WNBA championships under their belt, so they at least have that going for them. So there are championships to be won in this city, but to go from, the early aughts where it just didn't seem like there was never going to be any professional sports here to now, in 2024, coming up on 2025, and we're talking about almost every single of the 4 major leagues having a team in Las Vegas. I would have never thought that, 10, 15 years ago. And here we are. And it's quite the spectacle to see what the Strip has become, going from just a bunch of casinos and a bunch of hotels to now a giant arena propped up right on Tropicana Avenue. And then about 5 minutes away, a giant football stadium is just standing there. So there's a lot to be caught off guard with what the city used to be, but it continues to thrive. And now the fact that it's become a major sports town with its own sports teams is absolutely insane.
Danny Webster from the Las Vegas Review-Journal joining us. All right, to shift attention to the Golden Knights, Danny, I'm sure in hockey terms you'll understand that I mean this as a compliment, but over the last couple of years, I have referred to the Golden Knights as a team of miserable bastards. And what I mean is, I know they're nice guys off the ice, and they all got great stories about getting to the NHL, but when they put hockey equipment on, they will do anything to win. They did that to the Oilers on the way to the Cup in the second round a couple of years ago, and I think they have already a significant history with McPhee and McCrimmon running the franchise of adding players, and sometimes you might think, why would they go pick up that guy? And then you see him put on that Golden Knights jersey, and you realize because he can be a miserable bastard. Do you see that with this identity of this team that's been built over the years?
I have never thought of it that way, but I can definitely see the parallels. I think that this is an organization that has been built on just doing anything by any means necessary to win. And I think this is, and I've said this since year one, when they made the miraculous run to the Cup final back in 2018, winning changes everything. And winning changed the trajectory of this franchise going forward, because now you got there once. Now what do you do for an encore? What they did for an encore is pretty much what you see today. Because in year two, they go out and get Mark Stone. They eventually trade for Jack Eichel. They add these guys that, maybe back in year one, you would never expect them to do so unless they were winning. And they found the right formula of players that, they may be miserable in the sense that, they're here to play hockey. They suit up. They don't care what people say about them. They go out and do their business, and they end up putting up the results that you've seen now for the last 8 years. So I definitely do see the parallels with your comparison. It's just the way that they've been wired since year one. And if they never won in year one, then we might be having a different conversation of what this team would look like by now.
Danny Webster joining us here, Las Vegas Golden Knights analyst. Danny, it's Jay. I just have a simple question. Connor McDavid and Jack Eichel were obviously drafted in the same year. This is both of their 10th seasons. Can you explain to me how Jack Eichel is currently on pace at 1.44 points per game to have a career year in his 10th NHL season? Like, what's in the water down there?
He is having himself an incredible start to the season. I think there's a couple of fronts. One, I think it's the fact that he's healthy right now. Knock on wood, he has not missed a game so far, and he's playing well at both ends. It's not even just the offensive side. He's having probably the best year defensively of his career so far, and he's become a really, really solid two-way center since Bruce Cassidy got here. So that's a lot of credit to him and the work that he's put in. But I think a lot of it has to do with what the Golden Knights lost in the offseason. When you look at losing Jonathan Marchessault, when you look at losing Chandler Stevenson, when you look at losing all the production that they had, there were a lot of questions on this team coming in of who was going to supply the offense, who was going to fill in the gaps that they were losing. And Jack Eichel, and before he got hurt, Mark Stone took it upon themselves to be the catalysts for this team offensively. And Stone obviously has missed the last 13 games now. But even with him out, Jack Eichel has continued to have this monster stretch of a season. And if he stays healthy, he needs to be in the conversation for the Hart. I don't think there's any question about that. And if the Golden Knights keep winning, he definitely needs to be up there. But he is just taking it upon himself, I think, as far as being, the talented player that he is on the ice, seeing what the room lost, as well as becoming more of a vocal leader in the locker room as well. I think you take all those components together and you're getting the most complete version of Jack Eichel that we have seen so far in his career.
Danny, just one more quick one for you, and thanks for being so generous with your time, because I know you're getting ready to cover the game tonight. The Four Nations face-off rosters are unveiled tomorrow. That's going to be national news in Canada. What's the I know you cover hockey, so you're paying attention of it. Do you think the average American sports fan is going to want to know who's on the team tomorrow?
I think that there's a sense that, the fact that the best players in the world are now representing their countries, I think there is going to be some intrigue to that now. And I think more locally as well, because there are going to be a lot more people interested in this Four Nations face-off, just on my guess on who from the Golden Knights organization is going to be represented. Obviously, Jack Eichel's there. Bruce Cassidy will be coaching Team Canada. But you look at the roster, the possibility that Aiden Hill could be there, Alex Pietrangelo, Shea Theodore, William Karlsson. Like, the Golden Knights could be very well represented in this Four Nations face-off. So I don't know about the entirety of America, but I can speak on probably the city of Las Vegas is going to be very interested in how these guys play against each other and how they play with some of the best players in the world that, you load up the video game and you play a fantasy draft, and that's the only way that you could probably see, Connor McDavid and Shea Theodore playing on the same team. Like, I think it's going to be a lot of fun. And I think especially in Vegas, there's going to be a lot of intrigue on how Team USA looks, especially if Jack Eichel is leading the charge there.
Hey, Danny, this was an excellent interview. Thanks for being so generous with your time. Sorry about the glitch. We did enjoy seeing you for a few seconds, so we look forward to maybe trying again and actually having you move as opposed to being a still picture. But thanks for jumping on the phone. Enjoy the game tonight. It's usually fun when these two teams play.
Yeah, not a problem, guys. Thanks for having me. Should be a fun game tonight for sure.
That is Danny Webster from the Las Vegas Review-Journal. First time we've spoken to him. Really good.
Really good.
Born and raised in Vegas, covering Vegas sports. I don't think he's our age, judging by his photo, but even in his lifetime, he's seen, what did he say? It was UNLV basketball. Was it Tarkanian? Used to chew the towel on the bench, and now, a whole bunch of other stuff. And as he said, gambling has become somewhat normalized.
Yes.
In pro sports.
Not such a destination in Vegas anymore. And he did have in his Twitter bio that he's a decent gamer.
Oh,
so we're gonna have to have him on again.
Ask him
you know
about
what?
that
Maybe when they play again in a week and a half, we'll get him back on.
I don't know if he's going to be coming. I don't know if he travels or not.
We can get him on the Friday because it's a Saturday night game. Let's get him on the Friday, and we'll ask him exactly what kind of gamer he is.
Probably Minecraft.
I don't know. Maybe the Coob will have to get involved with that one because
Isn't that what the kids are playing?
You're
Minecraft?
our in-house gamer.
That's the best game of all time. Most creative game. It's like Lego, but it's a video game. So
this is the best video game of all time, Minecraft?
It's for all ages. You could do anything, fight creatures, build things, be positive, farm. I don't know.
We talked about it. There's a Minecraft movie coming out.
I'm excited for it. I know it's going to be garbage, but I could talk all day with Danny there about Minecraft.
Okay, maybe we should just have a side segment.
Maybe we'll have to do that at some other point. Portions of this hour presented by Canadian Brewhouse. NHL lives at the Canadian Brewhouse. Every Oilers game day, like today, get $1 off tankers of Molson Canadian and Coors Light. You can win game tickets and 2 tickets to a surf and turf dinner at the end of the season. Full details at thecanadianbrewhouse.com. Jed Roberts is going to join us in studio, and we'll talk a little bit more about the Four Nations face-off and a potential major rule change in baseball. All ahead on the Reid Wilkins Show with Jay Milne.
Get to know the winners, props, plays, parlays, and more with Nielsen and Hustler. Weekday mornings at 11 on The Lock Shop. Only on EdmontonSportsTalk.com.
Conveniently located 10 minutes west of St. Albert, Wheeler's RV Storage will provide you with safe, secure storage for your RV, boat, or whatever you need to store. Open 7 days a week with gated keypad access and extra large stalls. Now is the time to take advantage of their limited time offer. Buy 6 months and get 1 month free. Now's the time to go to WheelersRVStorage.com. That's Wheeler's RV Storage. Safe, secure storage. Visit them today at WheelersRVStorage.com.
Celebrating 70 years in the signage industry, William Huff Advertising is the most recognized name in the game. An in-house, one-stop shop for all of your design, print, and installation needs. William Huff provides quality graphic solutions for everyone. Here in our City of Champions and throughout the nation, they're the preferred signage partner entrusted by many of the biggest corporations, pro sports teams, and organizations to bring their identity to life. Recognize the name, get in the game. WilliamHuff.com.
The Canadian Ice House is taking your sports experience to a higher level. Trackman golf simulators are now open at the Ice House, an immersive and realistic golfing experience in the heart of downtown Edmonton. Visit in-store or at thecanadianicehouse.com for details.
Don't feel like working? Join the Hangout. You never know what you might hear. Weekday mornings 9 to 11 on EdmontonSportsTalk.com.
It's the Oilers and Golden Knights with Tom Gazzola live on location at Boston Pizza Westgate for the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show at 7, only on Edmonton Sports Talk. And Vancouver's Filip Hronek is out for 8 weeks after successfully undergoing a lower body procedure, while Trevor Lewis is out for the Kings for 4 to 6 weeks with a lower body injury. And in BC, Buck Pierce has been named the head coach of the Lions. Pierce comes from an offensive coordinator position with the Blue Bombers, previously suiting up for the Lions on his way to a 2006 Grey Cup victory. And in the NBA, the Raptors hit the court with the Pacers with 11 games in the association. The Reid Wilkins Show with Jay Milne continues right now. I'm Zachary Kubish, and you're up to date.
Jay is not as happy as he was a few minutes ago.
Wow, I ran into a little bit of a stumbling block here. I got Sportsnet working. I'm trying to get into TSN. Okay. It might let me try again.
Yeah, try again. Don't pay. Pardon me, $20 a month for one channel.
Okay. So I need to go. Okay.
Oh yeah, this will work.
Well,
everything's
didn't last
fine.
time.
Everything's fine, Jay.
Reid.
Everything's great. Good talk there with Danny Webster from the Las Vegas Review-Journal. Oilers at Golden Knights tonight. Oilers go for their fourth consecutive win. They have not won 4 straight to this point in the season. It's an 8 o'clock game, so Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas will have the Oil Stream pregame show coming up at 7. Tom is going to join us around 20 after 5. Around 20 after 4, that's in 15 minutes, Jed Roberts scheduled to join us in studio to talk about the Elks hiring Mark Kilam as head coach. And we'll dive into some other fun topics with him, too. And Jay is trying to put some sort of not a hex. There, it's linked, baby. It's all linked, subscription linked. We're good. Everything's fine. Everything's perfectly fine. There's not a thing to be worried about.
Woo.
Everything turned out. I did absolutely nothing.
Oh, sweating in here, man. This is pressure.
Jasmine. She works. Hey, she's a colleague, in the nasty chat. Can you put Gladiator on the new TV for Maddie to watch? We're talking about the original Gladiator, not the new Gladiator.
Maddie came in here and I asked, hey, what do you think I should put on this TV? He's like, what do you mean? So what do you think? I have
like
TSN
Garland?
and Sportsnet.
We're supposed
He's
to put
like,
mustard
so,
on the TV?
What do you mean? I'm like, get out of here.
He's being persnickety.
Yes,
Yes, Ace 96. He's casting a spell. Thank you. It's not a hex. A hex is a type of spell, but that does a bad thing to someone. So he's trying to do a positive spell.
Okay.
He's trying to do an enchantment.
Now we have.
He's trying to enchant the TV.
Who did a spell? Matt?
No, it's okay. Everything's fine.
Okay, Ace 96. We don't have cable anywhere in here. We're digital. Everything's digital.
Yeah, it's all digi.
So would you like to announce the name of the TV?
The name of the TV is ESTV.
Yes. That's hands down.
We're watching ESTV.
You never said. Now, Matt, look at this persnickety.
No, Matt's being difficult. Now that ChatGPT thinks he's a renowned heavyweight boxer, he's really going to throw his weight around.
Oh, God.
So we have a TV. Now, do we need the TV on right now? Technically, no, because there's no live sports for us
Technically
to follow.
not.
But at 5 o'clock,
I'm just celebrating.
Most days we're going to have a game at 5 we can watch.
Well, why don't we
Especially
find
when the
out
Oilers
what
are
we
playing.
can watch?
There'll be something coming up.
Let's see, Reid. Why don't we look into it?
Well, that other screen said, here are the games coming up tonight that you can watch.
Yeah, if I could get back to that other screen, that would be great.
Detroit plays Boston. Colorado plays Buffalo. Islanders, Montreal. We probably can't get that one. There will be games on for us to watch at 5 o'clock.
I don't know.
It's going to be awesome. But we have to go through the apps. You can't bring up a traditional guide because we don't have cable. Is that correct?
No guides. There's no guides here, but we're just rocking it. Welcome to the studio, ESTV.
780-218-9999. If you want to text the show in the Nasty Chat on YouTube, you can participate as well. Give us a thumbs up there as we are climbing nicely towards 100. We want to get at least to 100 every show. Now, if you're consuming the show, you've found it live. You're on YouTube, you're on the TuneIn app, you're on the iHeartRadio app. We want to encourage you to tell other people who maybe are wondering what happened to the guys at 1260 still, or wondering why isn't Reid on Ched anymore? What happened to him? Did he retire and buy an island somewhere in the Mediterranean? No, I didn't. By the way, the island's in the middle of Chip Lake that I bought.
That was the budget?
That was the budget. It's about the size of this studio. But no, we were still getting the word out, so you got to tell people, hey, Edmonton Sports Talk has a cool thing going. Well, live programming 6 a.m. to 6 p.m.
I'm going to turn it off for now.
Because we don't need it right now. There's no game on.
I
there's
think
a
the
game
job's
on, you'll
done.
select the game, and
the task is
done. Off and running.
And maybe you and I could use our laptops to decide which game, so that it saves me having to go look at the app.
Yeah, we'll be fine. We'll be fine. We got a TV now. And mainly when we want to see the Oilers, everything's going to be great.
Give a thumbs up for the ESTV, and whatever nasty that was, God bless you.
I have my suspicions who it is, so we thank that person.
I don't have the foggiest.
I do.
Okay.
I'll leave it at that. All right, let's dive into buying or selling for Damon Bunting, a consistent top-producing realtor in Greater Edmonton and among Western Canadian RE/MAX realtors. He and his team would love to help you find that right home or make the move from your current home. Community-driven, he understands what it takes to make a difference in our city. Check him out, DamonBunting.com, or the Instagram handle of Damon Bunting Real Estate. Which one do you want to start with? Well, we kind of did the Four Nations stuff.
Well,
let's do the other one
one
first.
Player that we...
Oh, yeah, you want to finish that.
That I talked about, and this was part of the whole, hey, let's name 6 players. I guess everybody on that is okay. I understand Braden Point will be on the team. Brad Marchand simply should not be on the team. But why is Dylan Strome not on anybody's radar? Not on anybody's
Well, he's been
projections.
listed as a possibility, but I'm surprised in Sportsnet's latest article, they didn't even put him as a close.
He's got the most points out of anybody on the team other than Nathan McKinnon.
He's having a way better season than Connor Bedard, who's listed as a close on Sportsnet's latest roster.
34 points plus 17 in 24 games. Why is he not on anything's close?
I don't know.
That was the one that was an outlier for me, just looking at the numbers of things.
Are you buying or selling naming Drew Doughty to the team? And then if he's still injured for tournament time, you name a replacement.
Do you think he wants to come back from injury and go right into some glorified all-star game?
Oh, I'm sure he'd love to play for Canada.
They're calling it Canada. I guess it is Canada. I don't know what for.
But buying or selling Travis Sanheim being on defense?
I'm buying that.
Yeah?
Yes, I think his play this year has been very solid. Would be a nice depth defenseman. Are you buying or selling that Evan Bouchard is on the team?
Selling.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go back to what I was talking about. I can't remember if it was last week or the week before. And I think Oilers fans should be thrilled if McDavid's the only Oiler in the tournament. Now, Ekholm might be on Sweden. I haven't seen what their latest projection was, but he was on an earlier projected roster. But just think of all these guys not playing for a couple weeks. And I know the Four Nations face-off is relatively short. Teams will either play 3 or 4 games. I think it'll be fairly high-intensity hockey. I know other people don't agree with me. That's fine. But I do think it will be high-intensity hockey. I think once these players put on their nation's colors, they really want to compete. But, Hyman, Bouchard, Nugent-Hopkins, Skinner, not going to be blocking a shot. We already know Draisaitl won't be in the tournament. Think Leon Draisaitl plays a ton of hockey. He plays hard minutes in the National Hockey League. His body's going to have 2 weeks mid-season to just recover, to just heal. What?
Oh, Rip City stuff.
What
I love
now?
it. He says, Reid, if you're not doing the Four Nations face-off rosters, can you at least give me your mock WNBA expansion draft before the 6th?
Caitlin Clark.
She's already in the WNBA expansion draft.
Well, aren't they picking off current teams?
Yeah, she's not going to be on the expendable list.
I'm sorry I don't have that list handy.
The only way that Bouchard would be valuable on this team is in a, in the press box kind of role, where if one of your top defensemen, your defensemen that are considered offensive defensemen, gets injured, then he could come in and replace that.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to be on the team. I think that's the one player I said, and I still think he's a long shot, that could get in on reputation is Hyman. Because I think any coach or player in the NHL knows that you don't doubt Hyman's work ethic, and maybe he could be on McDavid's wing. But as you mentioned, there are several other players, whether it's Strome or whoever else, having better seasons. And I do think you have to reward those stats. And there are other big-bodied, hardworking players, that are Hyman-esque in how they play the game. So I don't think that he'll be on the team. I mean, certainly Nugent Hopkins has no chance.
Well,
because
okay, this comes in and it says Strome isn't a bottom six player. Well, neither is Scheifele.
But who is though?
Neither is Stone. Neither is Konechny.
Yeah,
neither is Marchand.
But I guess you're saying you still might want somebody who can check and kill penalties,
like a little bit more grit,
right? Yeah,
which Scheifele would have. Stone would certainly have,
right? And Stone's on LTIR, but he should be back by the tournament, right?
Sam Bennett would definitely have that.
Yeah, the Sportsnet has him as the 13th forward.
Marchand. Best on best.
I think it was a little much that they named 6 players. They could have named 3 to each team.
Name the obvious ones.
Just name McDavid, McKinnon, and Crosby
McCarr.
or McCarr.
Yeah.
Well, you have to almost name Crosby.
Sure, that would be respectful. But Brad Marchand is not Nathan McKinnon. He's not Sidney Crosby. He's not Connor McDavid.
But it's what you said. It's a legacy pick.
Well, then it's not. Sorry. Then this is. What do you? I'm going to have to. What's the term I'm looking for? I'll come up with it. But yeah, I don't.
You're going to file a protest?
Yeah, I'll watch this under protest.
You have to take pictures of yourself in your easy chair with a little flag.
Yeah, peaceful protest.
Peaceful protest.
Just a
watching
EST
the tournament
flag.
Yeah, the Sportsnet has the goalies as Thompson, Hill, and Binnington. I do think those guys will be the goalies. It would be something if Marc-Andre Fleury got on the team, but I don't know if they'll go there.
Well, actually, Reid, this came in. So the TSN Insiders basically named all of Team Canada except for the final forward, D-man, and goalie.
Okay.
So right now they got Binnington and Hill. Who would be the third, in your opinion?
Thompson.
Defenseman, they have Toews, McCarr.
Taves.
I'm just so used to calling it Toews because
okay.
Remember Warren Toews that played for the Bears?
He said that Taves as well.
Yeah.
I covered him.
Yeah, he went by Toews.
No, he went by Taves.
No, he didn't.
Okay.
Warren Toews from...
Really?
Yes.
Are you sure? I think he went by Taves.
No, from Wasatna.
All right.
Toesy. That was his nickname.
I thought he went by Taves. All right.
McCarr, Theodore, Petrangelo, Morrissey, Sanheim. Who else?
So they don't have Doughty.
They don't.
I'm partial to Uyghur myself.
You don't think Parayko would be a good depth defenseman?
I was talking to Matt Cassian about him earlier. He thinks he would be good.
I like Parayko.
Like the knock on, and I
big body.
I know Colton a bit, like from St. Albert. He's been on my old show several times in the past, but I know from talking to people who cover the Blues is that he doesn't play as big as he is. But in this tournament, do you need that, or you just need somebody to calmly get the puck up the ice? I don't know. I still think they'll be hitting in physicality.
See,
well, if Mark Stone's on Team Canada, there's going to be hitting and physicality because he can't play any other way.
What if Binnington comes out and gets torched in this first game?
Or gets into a fight and gets thrown out?
You wouldn't want a steady Eddie like a Marc-Andre Fleury to come in, the veteran? Because goaltending veteran...
And that's the thing for him is that he's been there, right? Thompson, Hill's won a Stanley Cup.
But I think that's different as a goaltender than it is for Brad Marchand. You know what I mean?
Yes.
As a goaltender, you can still have it.
Well, and maybe even just him talking to the other two goalies, like they're in their own little world a lot of times.
But he's never had a defense corps playing in front of him like this.
Right.
So, I don't know. I might want to see Marc-Andre Fleury.
What forwards does TSN have?
McDavid, Crosby, McKinnon, Marchand, Point, Cirelli, Hagel, Reinhardt, Bennett, Marner, Stone, Konechny.
So they don't have Scheifele?
No. Well...
Interesting. Tom Wilson's getting talked about.
Now, this came in from Hampton Steve, so he may have accidentally left one off the list. But let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
I didn't hear
7, 8,
Scheifele.
9, 10, 11, 12. No. But they're not even naming a 13th there.
No, they'll name another one. Yeah, I mean, it's fun. I don't know if there's any. There's a lot of good players that won't be on the team, obviously, for Team Canada. But I would have Scheifele on the team myself. I would not have Bedard on. Who else did Sportsnet listed? Verhaeghe as a possibility. Lafreniere from the Rangers. And there's so many different and honestly, there have been lists posted since because people are now, there's all these stories. Here's the team, here's the team, here's the team. So anyway, I don't know, you're just selling on the tournament in general.
I'm not selling on. I'm selling on the process leading up to it here. That's a bit of, that they and it's NHL run, okay? So of course they're gonna want to sell it. It's all about money.
Right.
Nothing they do is for anything outside of money.
Correct.
So what do you expect? Don't call it best on best. You can't even do that for Team Canada, for goodness sake. And just the naming process, where they declared these 6 players.
Yeah.
Don't like that. But, of course, when it's on,
it'll be
exciting hockey.
It'll be something to watch.
I mean, there is something to be said about having McDavid playing with Crosby. And, is Makar Canada's best defenseman? Is Makar the best defenseman in the world? Quite possibly.
All right.
But we won't know that till the Olympics anyways.
We had another thing for buying and selling, but we're going to combine that into my top 3 later because it kind of fits into that category as well. And we're going to be talking about this golden at-bat suggestion in baseball. So we'll save that for a little bit later on. You can chime in, 780-218-9999. Jump into the Nasty Chat on YouTube. Continue to give us the thumbs up and encourage others to give us a thumbs up on YouTube as we are well over halfway to 100. Less than halfway into the show, but don't let it slow down. Don't be a pleasure delayer. Portions of this hour are presented by the Canadian Brewhouse. Book your holiday party at the CBH today, your ultimate destination for events, parties, fundraisers, and more. 'Tis the season to celebrate. Visit and book now at thecanadianbrewhouse.com. Jed Roberts scheduled to join us. We got Zachary Kubish with a sports update.
Zach Hyman will miss another game for the Oilers as they face the Golden Knights with a chance to win 4 straight for the first time this season. And you can join Tom Gazzola for the action down at the Boston Pizza Westgate when he goes live for the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show at 7 with Hernan Salas, only on EST. And Vancouver's Filip Hronek is out for 8 weeks after successfully undergoing a lower body procedure, while Trevor Lewis of the Kings is out 4 to 6 weeks himself with a lower body injury. On tap, Vancouver visits Minnesota. The Blues play the Jets, and the Kraken battle the Hurricanes. Buck Pierce has been named as the head coach of the BC Lions. Pierce previously won a Grey Cup playing with the Lions back in 2006 before spending the last 10 years as a part of the Blue Bombers coaching staff. And on the court, the Raptors are back in action when they tip off against the Pacers on an 11-game NBA slate. This sports update is brought to you by Paramount Flooring, proudly family-owned and operated for 33 years. Paramount Flooring is your full-service flooring and tile supplier. Whether you're a homeowner, renovator, or builder, Paramount Flooring provides the flooring to fit your lifestyle and budget. Visit their showroom that's open 7 days a week at 107 184th Street. Paramount Flooring. Flooring for the life that you live. Jed Roberts after the break here on the Reid Wilkins Show. I'm Zachary Kubish with your sports update.
You could set up your Christmas tree in the last available spot in the house, or you can create the space you need with Sentinel Storage. Get the most out of Christmas. Shop Canadian, store Canadian. Try 4 weeks free. Visit sentinelstorage.ca.
Edmonton Sports Talk delivers a mass audience of key, influential customers to your business, all while you associate your company brand with the biggest names, the hottest sports news, and teams from every league around the globe. Oilers and Elks, NHL, NFL, Major League Baseball, and the association, Formula One, soccer, golf. Oh, sweet mama! The excitement is palatable on Edmonton Sports Talk. It's where fans go to get their sports fix and where our partners find the most loyal consumers. Contact us today and see how our team on Edmonton Sports Talk can score the biggest goals for your business. With various advertising options available, email business@edmontonsportstalk.com or head to our website and send a message at edmontonsportstalk.com.
If you've been injured in a car collision, let James H. Brown and Associates, Alberta Injury Lawyers, protect your interests. They'll be there every step of the way to help answer your questions and help you get your life back on track. Trust Alberta's precedent-setting injury lawyers with their unrivaled experience, unrivaled results, and unrivaled commitment. When accidents happen, call James H. Brown and Associates, Alberta Injury Lawyers, 780-428-0088, or go to jameshbrown.com.
Gallo LLP is an Alberta-based accounting firm with expert chartered professional accountants in both our Edmonton and Sherwood Park accounting firms. Our experienced and innovative accountants provide financial advice that saves our clients money. Simply put, we help our clients protect their assets and grow their businesses. At Gallo LLP, they go beyond the numbers to ensure the continued success of your business. Reach out to Preet or John to discuss how they can help your business grow. Visit gallollp.ca today and see how they can help you take your business to the next level.
Hope you're having a great afternoon. Oilers at Golden Knights tonight. It's an 8 o'clock game, so our coverage commences at 7 here on Edmonton Sports Talk. Your clear choice for Edmonton sports. Tom Gazzola, Hernan Salas have the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show, and then they will hop on right at the conclusion of the game for the postgame show. It is our mystery athlete of the game. Here comes clue number 3, presented by Hudson's Canada's Pub. Clue number 3 is 250. So the clues to this point: Hall of Fame, Rookie of the Year, and 250. It would not surprise me if somebody got this person now, but if they don't, I think the fourth clue, I don't think we'll need 5 clues.
Now, are
today,
we
Jay.
spelling it 250?
Just
or are we
put-
going the number like
just
Four
250.
Nations face-off?
250.
Okay, I
Yes.
just wanted to clarify.
Yeah.
What's with the palpable, not palatable?
Did I say that?
Did you say palpable?
It's on one of our commercials.
Oh, okay.
Mm.
Well, we'll look into it. The coup will look into it. Matthew will look into it. Palpable
Hope
means
so.
you can feel it, right? Whereas palatable means it's something you would like to intake. Right?
Palatable is like you can handle it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It sounds digestible.
Yeah. Sounds palatable.
Palpable means you can feel it, right? The tension was palpable.
Yes.
Is that not correct?
Palpable,
correct.
of a feeling or atmosphere so intense as to seem almost tangible.
Right.
Yeah.
All right.
Come on
Jed,
in, big fella.
Do you want to
Yeah.
let him in around this way? This is coming in on the fly. Jed, come around. Hey, how's it going? Good. You can grab a seat on the couch and watch. Yeah. Jed Roberts, of course, our weekly guest here on the Reid Wilkins Show. We love having him in studio. I guess I could have got out of the way.
Yeah, you probably should have.
I probably should have been me.
There you go, buddy.
All right.
Okay?
Bringing Jed in live. Hey, good to see you, buddy. 2 days in a row.
Yeah.
I apologize for almost ignoring you yesterday, but I was talking to Brian Hall, so I got pretty excited.
Buddy, it's Brian Hall. That's like you have to be ready to have a conversation for at least 10 minutes every time you talk to Brian.
So when you were a player, and I don't know how much you knew about Halsey, and he's grabbing you after practice for interviews, did it take some getting used to?
Yeah, because it wasn't really so much as a question as it was him telling you something. So you just, but the guy's a walking encyclopedia. We had lunch with him yesterday after the press conference.
Oh,
and,
he was able to go.
And yeah, he was talking about how many years he's been following. I said, we said, how many head coaches, Brian? He said, all of them. Since 1948, he's seen them all. So
pretty amazing. Somebody told me recently once that I don't think I was at Chet at this time, but he interviewed Wally Buono for several minutes, and Wally said 7 words the entire time. And he disagreed. I think 4 of them were, I don't think so. But then Brian just kept going and explained to Wally. And then for several days, Brian kept referencing this interview by saying, I was talking to Wally Buono. But that's the beauty of Brian.
Yeah.
That's the beauty of Brian. I once got into a discussion with Brian about something, and by the end of the argument, he'd shifted it so we were arguing in favor of each other's points that we made at the beginning. We were now disagreeing with ourselves because he just kept, I don't know how he did it. He's an amazing guy. Anyway, you're an amazing guy too. Thanks for coming.
Oh, thanks for having me. But I mean, every team should have a Brian Hall.
Yeah, I agree.
A guy that, old school. I mean, back in the day, every team had a Brian Hall, and it was the guy that basically covered the team and knew everybody and had relationships with everyone. And I mean, that's kind of like a product of a bygone era. I mean, he really is. He's an iconic media personality here in town, and I'm just so grateful that he's still around because, there's not many of those guys around anymore, that have that bridge to the past that can speak to the 3 in a row 50s team and the 80s. I mean, think about all the history that guy's seen.
Yeah.
And to have him be there yesterday and to see, Mark Kilam take over and to hear what Brian's impressions were. I mean, and his impressions were very positive, by the way. So it was a good lunch.
All right, so your impressions then of Kilam.
Jason and I were talking about this yesterday. He came over and he says, like, are you okay? Because I was being pretty quiet. And I said, well, you know what? Like, watching Mark speak, it was very similar to what it was like. And I don't know if listeners out there remember this, but Dan Campbell, when he took over for the Lions, and everybody was like going, what is this? Because Dan came in with this passion, this unbridled enthusiasm that bordered on like psychosis, and I'm not saying that's what Mark was bringing to the event yesterday, but his passion was very clear, and the fact that he spoke with such emotion about wearing the green and gold in high school and college, and now he's coming here and he's wearing the green and gold in the professional ranks. The fact that he has that connection, and the fact that he's Canadian, and the fact that he is a relationship guy, and not everybody has that like ability to connect with people. Some guys are just great X's and O's guys. Some guys are just great scheme guys. Some guys are just great, with personnel, but they don't like being in front of the cameras. Mark is a guy that like the camera loves him. First of all, like he's a good looking guy.
Beautiful.
Yet I'm not ashamed to say it. He's a very handsome fella.
Yeah.
So
doesn't hurt.
So he checks off that box. He's a very accomplished coach. He's done it in all facets of the game, and he's a special teams guy. Like I love special teams guys, right? Like
there you go.
He just had that passion, and he had that enthusiasm. He had that. You know what? We're gonna have to work hard, and that's the same thing Chris did when he came in. He said, you know what? There's no shortcuts, and there's no secret. It's just put your head down, do the work, and have a focus, right? And so the fact that everybody was talking about all the ringing endorsements that he got from guys that played for him and guys that even played against him, and I've never played for him, and I don't really know him as a coach. I just know his body of work, like from watching him ever since 2005 or 6 or whatever and the guy just knows football. Like I've watched his schemes and special teams and the way he just connects with people. Like you can just see it. You can see how people just like they just love playing for him and they hate playing against him.
Well, former Stampeder, then moved on to the Eagles. Now with your Denver Broncos, Alex Singleton tweeted during the Broncos game last night. I never would have thought I'd say something nice about the Double E organization, but they found the right guy in Mark Kilam.
Yeah.
I mean, you have all these people. We had Randy Chevrier on yesterday.
Yeah.
Spoke glowingly about him. I'm sure you have some run-ins or stories with Chevrier.
Yeah. Randy was a rookie my last year with the Double E, And he was the only rookie that ever came in that dressing room and actually controlled the radio. Because usually, like, when you're playing music stuff, they're like, get out of here, But he was that big of a personality that he was able to do that. But so guys gave him a pass because he was clearly pretty good because he'd been a long snapper and he bounced around in the NFL there. So, he's a big personality, and I was sorry to see him go to Calgary. But for a guy like Randy, to put that out there about Mark, that speaks volumes. You know. And I talked to Ed a little bit after, and I think there's a lot of people that thought that Rick Campbell would be the guy, and I think that. I think Ed would even admit that, maybe that was probably the safest choice in terms of like the experience factor, the family connection. But I think as far as if you're looking to bring guys here, if you're looking to like generate a buzz, you kind of have to go out on a limb and give the guy a shot, And he's been up for so many opportunities over this past 5-6 years. I'm just glad it's us that finally took a chance on him because I've always liked him.
Well, I get the sense, and I've gotten the sense from people like yourself or people that are, from the football world, alumni of the organization, that, this is the hardest part that's done. Having the trinity of Chris, Ed, and now Mark Kilam at the helm, steering this ship. Players aside, this is a major advantage moving forward for this organization, would you not say?
I would, and I would go back to, it's human nature to kind of go back to what you know. When I first started with this organization, we had Hugh Campbell, who brought Ron Lancaster in.
Right.
And that relationship between those two gentlemen, you could see that there was respect, and they didn't always agree on everything, like there's obviously some heated exchanges, and I saw a couple, but they respected each other, and I saw that in that room yesterday between Chris and Ed and then Mark, and the way they talked about the conversation that they had and how they all sort of had the meeting of the minds, and it was just like after 10 minutes, it was pretty clear that they were all pretty much on the same page. And it's pretty unusual to have that right off the bat. I think you're always kind of looking around, snipping around each other a little bit. Right. There wasn't a lot of that. It was just like, okay, how soon can we get this thing going?
So when I know when you played here, there was a lot of stability because you had mostly Ron, right? Yeah. And then did you have K?
Actually,
did you have K?
Oddly enough, yes. I came in. We had Pops, Joe Farragelli, who had taken over for Jack Parker because Parker had the heart attack, unfortunately, in '87. And so Pops took that team, and he rode them to a 16-2 record in '89, and I came in '90, and they had lost in the Western Final to Saskatchewan, and then basically the same team, with a couple of exceptions, went back to the Western Final, and this time they won. Then we went to Vancouver and got just shellacked by Winnipeg. It was horrible. Like Trent and I were just on the sidelines drinking beer, so it wasn't our fault. We were in street clothes, so. And then that team Pops left after I think 90. Yeah, he left in 90, and then they brought Ron Lancaster. And so my first full year as a member of this team was with Ron Lancaster. And then when he left, they brought Kay in.
Right. Okay.
And then when Kay left, they brought
Matthews.
Matthews for a couple of years, and then Higgins.
Right.
So, yeah.
So I guess my question to you is to put your player's hat on. When a new coach first talks to you or addresses the team, what do you want to hear? Or maybe you didn't have any expectations, you just soaked it up. But you know what I mean? What's an important first message Kilam is going to have to his group?
I think that Killam's reputation precedes him. Like he comes in and he's been in the league for a really long time, and he's a guy that's paid his dues. Guys, it's a small league. Like, it's 9 teams, right? And everybody talks to everybody, And it's funny because, when I played, and it still happens now, we would go out to dinner the night before. Then we play the game, and as soon as the game was over, it's like, where are we going? So we would all just head out and go to the same place. And like it or not, sometimes fans like, oh, yeah, you guys can't. Yeah, we play, and, we hate each other between the lines and the 60 minutes. But as soon as the game's over, we're all hanging out. So we all talk to each other. And so that's a little bit, you got a kind of a glimpse behind the curtain there yesterday of guys talking about that and then tweeting about that and saying, man, and that's what the conversation is. Like after the game or before the game, you're like, oh, this coach this coach that. You don't hear things like that about Chris Jones. You don't hear things like that about, I mean, Michael Shea, to an extent, I think you get that because guys respect what he's done and his body of work. But Mark has there's a youth factor there, right? He's an up-and-comer. Gosh, I'm just really interested to see what's going to happen in British Columbia with who they hire, because I feel like
they hired Buck Pierce.
Okay,
it broke during the show today. Yeah, so okay. you probably were working.
Well, then
that was announced during our show today. Yeah,
yeah. So then that probably tells us who's going to be coming over here at the OC, right? So
McSimic.
Yeah,
which would be awesome.
Yeah, he's a brilliant X's and O's guy. He's not a get up in front of the cameras type of guy. He's more of he prefers to work behind the scenes, and he kind of came up in the video, kind of part of it. But like Mark, started from the bottom. He's Canadian. I love the fact that we've got a Canadian. It's just such a wonderful thing for people to be even the high school coaches here, college coaches, to look and go, yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because it just seems like in the CFL in particular, you just keep recycling the same 4 or 5 guys all the time, right? And I just love that we went a different direction, and that we got a guy that's coming in and he's got the credibility, the respect, and obviously he knows what he's doing because he's won a few Grey Cups down there.
Tell you what, Jed's around until 5 o'clock, so this is a perfect opportunity. It doesn't have to be Jay and I asking all the questions. If you have a question for Jed Roberts about the Elks, or anything else you think Jed might be able to weigh in on, 780-218-9999, or you can put it in the Nasty Chat. Give us a thumbs up if you're in the Nasty Chat on YouTube as well. Of course, we are in the James H. Brown studio, James H. Brown Personal Injury Law Firm, the heavy hitters of injury law with over 200 years of experience. James H. Brown will get you the settlement you deserve. Visit them at jameshbrown.com. Book your private consultation today. More with Jed in a couple of minutes here on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
Edmonton visits Vegas as they look for 4 straight wins for the first time this season. You can catch Tom Gazzola at Boston Pizza Westgate during the game as he goes live for the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show at 7 right here on Edmonton Sports Talk. And in Vancouver, the Canucks will miss Filip Hronek for the next 8 weeks as he underwent a successful lower body procedure with his team in action against the Wild tonight. Elsewhere, the Bruins play the Red Wings, and the Blues meet the Jets on a 10-game NHL slate. In the CFL, Buck Pierce has been named as a head coach for the BC Lions, with Pierce coming from an offensive coordinator position with the Blue Bombers, as he previously suited up for the Lions on his way to win a 2006 Grey Cup. Basketball has the Raptors back at it when they tip off with the Pacers, having 11 games in the association. This sports update is sponsored by Advantage Sports Medicine and Physiotherapy. Get treated like a pro with their highly skilled crew. Whether you're recovering from an injury or looking to enhance your performance, Advantage Sports Medicine and Physiotherapy uses the same locker room approach, trusted by the best in the game. Find them online at AdvantageSportMed.ca. More with Jed Roberts after the break. I'm Zachary Kubish, keeping you in the loop.
Conveniently located 10 minutes west of St. Albert, Wheeler's RV Storage will provide you with safe, secure storage for your RV, boat, or whatever you need to store. Open 7 days a week with gated keypad access and extra large stalls. Now is the time to take advantage of their limited time offer. Buy 6 months and get 1 month free. Now's the time to go to WheelersRVStorage.com. That's Wheeler's RV Storage. Safe, secure storage. Visit them today at WheelersRVStorage.com.
Tommy Gunn's Barbershop is more than just a barbershop. It's a top-notch, tailor-made experience from check-in to check-out. Get a precision haircut, a classic shave, or a facial to step up your style. Just walk in, relax, and let Tommy Guns take it from there. Find comfort in knowing their team follows the code, which is their commitment to care for you as a customer. Check out Tommy Guns today, in-store or online at TommyGuns.com to bring out the best in you. Tommy Guns, where every cut is done right every time.
Food Sausages makes their meat with nothing but the best local ingredients. From chicken, beef, and pork, their gluten-free sausages are packed with flavor. Every single bite. Get a 10% discount when mentioning Edmonton Sports Talk in-store or use the code EST when shopping online at foodsausages.ca. Plus, you get free delivery on orders of $100 or more. Find them at 6736 99th Street. Food Sausages. You can't beat our meat.
At Mind360, we invite you to embark on your mental health journey in a safe and comfortable space. Conveniently located in St. Albert, Mind360 has a diverse team of experienced clinicians that offer a broad range of tailored services for children, adults, and families. Furthermore, we are very proud to serve our military, veterans, and first responders. If you're looking for counseling, treatment, or assessment, understand that you are not alone. Contact Mind360 at mind360.ca to book an appointment today.
Oilers game night, closing out the road trip against the Vegas Golden Knights. 7 o'clock, our Oil Stream GCL Diesel pregame show with Tom and Hernan will start, and Tom will join us for some banter at 5:20. My top three is going to revolve around radical rule changes using the possibility in baseball of this golden at bat. We'll talk about that more with 5 o'clock. We're pleased to have Jed Roberts in studio, and we do have the Nasties jumping in with some questions for Jed.
Yes, this one comes in from Vic. Do you think the moves the Elks have made will put more bums in the seats, or do they need to win more for that to happen?
Winning, 100%. Like, you can talk all day, like, really at the end of the day. And then Mark alluded to it. He said, this is a hardworking town. This is a town that resonates with. When they see someone working hard, that's something that they can identify with, right? Like, this isn't Calgary. It's not corporate headquarters. This is blue collar. Put your jeans on and go to work at 4:30 in the morning. You know what I mean? So this is a hardworking town. So if they see that work and they see the results, then yeah, they'll come back. And Ed even said it in his press conference when he was introduced as the GM. It's a protest, and until the winning starts, we're going to see empty seats.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I talked about that yesterday because, as you know, I have season tickets as well. And when Mark said the fans feel like something has been lost, and Jay said, what is that for that to you? And I said, well, of course, winning, but also just competition and being in games and, like not being hopeless. It's one thing. It's one thing to lose a game, that happens, but it's another thing to get shut out twice by the same team, like happened last year and all that.
And I'll go a little deeper and I'll dive in because I don't have any fear. The name, when you're talking about Elks versus the Eskimos, nobody resonates with Elks doesn't mean anything to anybody because they haven't done anything under that moniker, right? And if you win games, then that starts to sort of take care of itself.
That's a good point.
And don't get me wrong, there will always be diehards that because they grew up with that name, and names, whether people want to admit it or not, mean something, and sometimes they mean negative things, sometimes they mean positive things, and the reasons for that are different and varied. Some people grew up with certain things, and that's just the way it was for them. And there's a large percentage of people in this town that resonate with the old name because it's synonymous with winning, regardless of how you feel about the history of colonialism and all that stuff. Right? We've talked about that.
Show,
and I have my own opinions about it, but. Opinions are beautiful because that's just discourse and people have a chance to have a conversation. But the negativity surrounding the Elks name, that has to change.
They've been terrible every year.
The only way you can change it is by winning, right?
And it's not wnot why they're bad, but the bottom line is every year it's said Edmonton Elks next to the record. It's been bad.
Winning will cure a lot of those kind of conversations.
I think if they were 14-4 the first year and won the Grey Cup, they might be. You said it.
Which is a fair comment. Sea-Dog writes in and he says, and this is very much so along the lines of what Vic wrote, but do you guys think with all these new hirings they'll bring in more fans? If so, do you think they'll open up the upper bowl?
Yeah. I mean, and why wouldn't you? Because
I'd like to see that back.
Yeah,
as
if you
well.
didn't, you'd be denying yourself some money, right? Like, if why wouldn't you? Like the British Columbia did it. They But I think that's kind of where they took that idea from. Rick came over and he said, you know what, the first thing we're going to do is try to keep everybody together.
Yeah.
Because when you get a lower crowd and you have this big chasm of a stadium.
Well, that was the problem.
It just didn't look good.
Very sparse in certain areas.
Yeah.
And
like I've had season tickets since '97, so I know there were even games that might have a decent 35, but it still looked
35
a little
and a
sparse
60
because of how or somebody decides to sit way up in the corner and
that's
TV
usually me, by the way.
Right, Jed leads the.
Well, that's
bird's
where
eye
my
view.
favorite spot to sit was up top.
I love it.
The higher the better, right?
Yeah.
You can see everything setting up, and
it's windy in the summertime, so you can cool off.
You
up
cool
there.
off.
That's a good point.
Yeah. Okay, this one comes in from Denny. Double E home opener next year. Is that alumni room empty? Same capacity as the last few seasons, or is it jam packed?
Jam packed.
Right.
Next year it'll be jam packed.
Okay, did something happen? Because I talked about this a bit yesterday, and I have mentioned it before, and things have been said to me, so I'll ask you on the record. Even going back to when Danny was coaching, and I don't know if maybe that's not, but over the years, was the alumni made to feel like they weren't as important or weren't requested to be around as much?
Yeah, that's a
Come
tough
on,
one,
Jed. Give it to us straight, baby.
That's a funny one, and there's no real easy answer to that. I think that I should probably start off by saying that we have it better than most teams because there are teams like for the longest time there were most teams. I don't think we might have been the only team that had an alumni room, and now the new arenas they were built with that in mind. So we're now the oldest. We're kind of like the Susan Sarandon in football stadiums, right? Like. She's good looking, but she's getting kind of up there, right?
Bull Durham.
Yeah. But I think that now because the city owns that room, there's a lot of if the room needs to be used, well, guys, you're gonna have to, we're gonna have to cut down the crowd. So I think a lot of that was due to that. It wasn't necessarily, it wasn't intentional. I think that the relationship between the alumni and the club has always been pretty good and pretty strong, and that connection. But I would say in the last 5 years, it's been just because of all of the different things. It's not just because of any one thing. You could talk about the name change, and there's a lot of guys that played that don't like that. So I mean, I'm kind of on the fence over it. I think that the fact that the team wasn't playing well. That didn't sit well with a lot of alumni. I think that the fact that they were just it just seemed like they could never make their mind up about anything. And I think there was some outspoken alumni that maybe hurt some feelings. And, right. So I think that right now it's pretty good because, you think about, we started this program talking about Brian Hall, not all of us make it to 91 or 92, right? So and a lot of these guys are kind of, transitioning onto their next, incarnation of whatever it is. And so now we've got the younger generation of guys, the Justin Sorensens, the Matt O'Donnells, right?
I noticed they're at everything.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, and we didn't have that. And I think that was more of an issue, really. It was that we didn't have guys stepping up. And so there was a bit of a gap, between kind of like when Trent and I played, we didn't really have there's a missing sort of 10 years there where guys weren't really coming out.
Okay. And
so now, like when these guys, when they won in 2015, those guys, like the Matt O'Donnells, the Justin Sorensens, the Calvin McCartys, those they come in. They're there for everything. Mark, Simeon Rochier, those guys are, So I didn't think that when you have that willingness by the younger players to come in and be a part of the association, that makes a better bond between the existing players. And because I think the longer you go where the people aren't stepping up, then you have a bit of a disconnect. And that's just natural. Yeah. Right? So.
I know where this question comes from. This is from Glenn in East Glen. That's odd. Reid had asked Coach Kilam yesterday about not saying, hey, who's going to be the starting quarterback, but just how he would handle the quarterback. Mm-hmm. And he just then broke down, Kilam did, what he looks at in a quarterback, and that would be somebody that the team gets excited to play behind. And he used the term game manager and he did a great job of breaking it down. But are you more of a flash and dash kind of, quarterback, that style of quarterback, or do you want to see a game manager under center?
Well, I think that Reid and I were talking about this at the break. John Madden has a famous quote, and I'll paraphrase it because I can't remember exactly how it goes, but he says there's two people you can't win with in football. The ones that don't do the things you tell them to do, and then there's the ones that do everything you tell them to do. So when you have a quarterback, you don't want a guy that's just going to do what he's told to do. You want a guy that's going to think, color outside the lines a little bit, but a little bit of both, right? And so I think that's kind of what Mark was talking about, is that you want a guy that has that presence, and it's like there's no doubt he is the guy. We also want a guy that can actually do some things that are, unexpected, And I think that for right now, I think when you're talking about game manager, it's more about like maybe Trey needs to kind of figure out how his skill set fits into the scheme. Because right now he's so good at coloring outside the lines. You're like, what is he doing with this? And then it's, oh wow,
Right.
But the thing about a guy like that is that your O-line never knows where he's going to be, right?
Yeah.
So, and that's a little bit challenging. I don't want to say it's frustrating because the guy obviously produces, regardless of what you want to say about it. But and I think that if I'm the head coach, which I'm not, clearly, I'm thinking, Trey, and then I'm going to get a guy in like, a Jordan Maximic or, a Buck Pierce, but obviously Buck was just hired today. But I would get a guy like that to sit down with him and say, okay, so this is what we're going to do. These are the things that our offense is predicated around. These are the things that are available to you in these certain times. And then spending as much time with them about how to manage the game in terms of like time count, substitutions, play calls, what options are available, and like we said in the beginning, there's no substitute for hard work, man. You put the time in, get in there and get in the film room, and just it gets redundant, but the best players are the ones that spend those hundreds of hours, like Danny Bass, So there's no secret, man. It's just putting the time in, putting that film work in, and I think we just got to get this guy signed. That's all.
Yeah, I think that will probably be the next box that gets checked.
Mm-hmm.
Jed Roberts joining us. We got a few more minutes. We always thanks for all your Elks perspective, and it was great to see you there yesterday. We always went into a couple other things here. Oilers in Vegas tonight. It's funny. You talk a lot about, what type of team would you want to cheer for? Well, if you're a fan of the Golden Knights, they're all even the year they missed the playoffs, they were still pretty good.
Yeah,
and they had tons of injuries. I look at it as now. I know Utah kicked the crap out of them the other night. That's very rare that there's a 6-0 game or whatever. But I look at that's a game you're in. I call them miserable bastards. They got skill. They'll play hard. They'll be cheap if they have to.
I really like that.
Yeah, they're a tough team to play, and they are real tough in the corners, and they're if you're going to stand in front of their net, they're going to beat the crap out of you, So, when I saw that Holloway and Broberg were gone, I was like, man, how are the Oilers going to replace that?
Right.
How do you replace that in your lineup, right? And then they go and they take a chance on a couple of former first-round picks, Europeans no less, right?
Yeah.
And now you start to see what are they going to do? You can put him with Connor and see what he does, right? Kapanen, and boom, that beautiful pass. Just keep your stick on the ice, buddy. You know what I mean? And a guy like that's got hands around the net. You know what I mean? But right now, I think what they miss is they need Hyman back. But he's not going to play tonight.
No,
but
soon.
That's the stuff right there. When you're playing a team like Vegas, you need a guy like Hyman. You need a guy that is
just
miserable,
on the puck, yeah,
and is questionable lineage. You know what I mean? And I think Corey Perry's been playing pretty well. He hasn't been producing, but he's been that agitator along the boards, and he's been a guy that's been digging pucks out and doing the stuff that nobody else wants to do.
So what does it mean to you then? Because we've noted, and I think most people who follow the team have noted how strongly Draisaitl has praised Podkolzin. And I would make the argument that for most of his tenure as an Oiler, Leon probably hasn't been overly thrilled with his line mates. Somebody said that one year he had Nugent Yamamoto.
No, and I don't think that Dry's had much to work with in terms of, and in all due respect, I'm not a hockey player, and I'm not here to say anything negative about Yamo or whatever. And Nuge, but you know what? And I've been really hard on Nuge. He's been playing really well lately. He won that game for them the other night, and that's because. But the thing about him is he's so good when it's 4v4, 5v5. I don't know, man. Like, but again, he's been playing a lot better. But he's had to because they're missing. They've got some holes in their lineup right now. They've had to get some guys to step up, and that's what great teams do. And that's why Vegas is good because they have that culture. Next guy up, Like, Stone's on LTIR. Well, we'll just go and spend a whole bunch of money on a new guy. So we don't really do that around here, but and. I like the fact that they were able to go. Bowman went out and got a couple of guys that people were like, "Whoa, I don't think that's going to amount to much." And lo and behold, they're producing, right?
Well, I said that earlier in the season that I didn't think Bud Colson could play in the top 6 because I didn't think his puck skills were good enough.
Yeah.
Now he's scored a nice tip. He's fired a couple in. Leon's praised his passing. I still feel like sometimes I don't know but he does disrupt, and if the goals start, like I said to Jay yesterday. I'll ask you this. How many goals does Bud Colson have to get to for that to be an amazing win of a trade? They sent a 4th rounder to Vancouver.
Probably 20. Because he's only ever had 15,
I
20,
said
right?
even 13 to 15.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. If 20, we would be
20,
outright win.
That's one of the best
outright
trades
win,
ever made.
Right?
Yeah.
But I'd say 15. Yeah, 15. And I, you know what? And we keep talking about when you're on the ice with Connor and Dre, the puck's going to be there.
Right.
Like, you just have to be in the right spot and not be surprised when the puck shows up on your stick, right? And so that's what I'm seeing from those guys is that they're skilled enough because they play that style over in Europe where, you just – and they finish okay. But I don't think that the knock against those guys, like you said, they don't pass that well or maybe they don't do the dirty work. But I from what I've seen so far, I like it.
Well, Pod Colson will get in there.
Yeah.
Like, at least he'll disrupt and he's good along the wall, right?
And they're both pretty decent sized guys, like 6'2", 190, not shrinking violets, but they're not going to completely dominate anybody.
Well, I wonder if that's really what Leon is looking for in a line mate. Like, if because Leon's probably thinking if he wins the board battle and shoots it behind the net, then I can go to work.
Yeah.
Right? Like, as long as it's not leaving the zone, I'm fine.
Yeah, I feel so bad for Leon sometimes as I look, oh, man, like, what do they keep putting? But he's so good, that he can lift in. So I think that with those guys, it's not that he has to do as much of the dirty stuff, that he can shine. But it's been an interesting year. I think that in a lot of ways it's been a mixed blessing because, you want the guys like Hyman and those guys to be healthy. But when those guys go down like Kane, and it just gives somebody else an opportunity to play. And so far they've been able to find that. So,
have you been following the build up here for the Four Nations Cup?
Face off, Jay.
Face off. I just did it. Oh my God. I got in the bad habit of calling it the Four Nations Cup. And so anyways, people here, listeners know my thoughts on the build up to it, but have you, they're unveiling Team Canada tomorrow.
Yeah.
What do you think of, the Oilers' slow start and how, quite of their players have played themselves off that?
Yeah.
Do you think that's not a bad thing for this Oilers team moving forward? Getting that time off during that play as opposed to all these players that are going to, whether they're going to be beating the snot out of each other or not, to be determined. TBD, Reid.
TBD,
but, have you been leading up? Are you looking forward to that? Or is that something you've marked on your calendar?
I'm curious to see who they will take from the Oilers, right? I'm obviously, your usual suspects, but there's some other guys that are kind of outliers that might end up making that team. So that'll be interesting.
Be interesting to see. Vic chimes in and says, we need more Jed on your show.
Well, once a week, that's pretty good.
Love this segment.
That's pretty
well
good.
done. And I agree. We love having you, especially in studio that puts it over to the top. Who'd you bring with you today?
I brought my son, Keikoa. He's just out there on his phone. He doesn't even know we're talking about him right now, but that's okay.
Offensive Rookie of the Year at Salisbury football.
Nice. Oh, amazing.
Yeah, it was
on the senior team.
Yeah, which is he's the long snapper, right? So
got to teach him young, baby.
Special teams, baby.
Long snapping's like golf. You can do it for a long time.
And those guys are worth their weight in gold. Right?
Sure are.
So just like Canadian offensive linemen, right? So
heck yeah.
He does that, and he's also a pretty good receiver. He's got a good catch radius. He runs really precise routes.
Massive human.
Yeah.
How old is he?
He's only 15.
Oh, wow.
So,
Reid, go shake his hand. It's like,
no kidding.
it envelops you.
Yeah,
Jed,
proud of that kid.
Thanks so much for coming in, man.
Yes.
We'll do this again next week. That is our good friend, regular guest here on the Reid Wilkins Show with Jay Milne, Jed Roberts. We got our top 3 for food sausage when we get back.
Get all the latest news and takes on everything Oilers with Dustin Nielsen and Tom Gazzola on the Oil Stream. Live at noon, Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays. Only on EdmontonSportsTalk.com.
In life, it takes a village. From childhood to your golden years, we all need support. At Capital Care Foundation, we've built that village for our 2,100 seniors. Join us in creating a nurturing environment that feels like home and fosters community connections. Your donation makes a difference. Visit capitalcarefoundation.net today and become a vital part of our village. Because together, we can make every stage of life a shared journey. Be a part of the journey. Support Capital Care Foundation.
Since 1952, William Huff has been the heartbeat of Edmonton's advertising world. From humble beginnings to a citywide powerhouse, we've been the go-to for signage from print to design and installation. Partnering with Edmonton's top sports franchises and major events, we've helped shape the city's global reputation. Our secret? Unmatched customer service, decades of experience, and a passion for excellence we call the William Huff Advantage. Visit us online at williamhuff.com.
You've always known GCL Diesel as the experts in diesel fuel systems, but did you know that GCL is also your source for turbochargers and turbo repair? As a turbo supplier for Garrett, Borg Warner, and Holset, GCL can provide genuine original equipment turbos at wholesale prices. Whether it's diesel, gas, natural gas, or performance, we can provide you with the turbo or custom repair you require. Turbo questions? We've got turbo answers. Visit us in the West End or online at GCLDiesel.com. GCL Diesel, turbochargers, understood.
Get to know the winners, props, plays, parlays, and more with Nielsen and Hustler. Weekday mornings at 11 on The Lock Shop. Only on EdmontonSportsTalk.com.
The Oilers throw it down in Vegas against the Golden Knights with Tom Gazzola live from Boston Pizza Westgate for the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show at 7, only on EST. There's 6 games to get underway in the NHL, which sees Patrick Laine making his Habs debut against the Islanders. The Avs battling the Sabres and the Red Wings meeting the Bruins. In the CFL, the BC Lions have named Buck Pierce as their next head coach. And Pierce leaves an offensive coordinator position with the Bombers after spending the last 10 years with Winnipeg's coaching staff. It's the Raptors and Pacers with 3 games going live in just a moment, including the Wizards matching up with the Cavs and the 76ers tipping off with the Hornets. The Reid Wilkins Show with Jay Milne continues right now. I'm Zachary Kubish, and you're up to date.
We got a live hockey game on the ESTV that was generously gifted to us by a nasty yesterday. Yes, TV for Reid, baby. There it is. Live hockey while we're hosting the show. This is incredible. We got Detroit-Boston on Sportsnet. Jay is still pushing buttons. Not TV related.
I'm trying to clap.
Well, just clap then. Just actually clap. Thank you.
The sound effect's better. There we go.
The applause, the applesauce sound effect. 780-218-9999 is how you text the EST inbox. You can email Reid at EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Send me an email so I feel loved. And if you're in the nasty chat on YouTube, you can talk to us and to your fellow nasties. Give us a thumbs up.
Let's try to beat 130 today.
We're at McDavid's number with still an hour left in the show.
Let's get
keep coming up. The record's 130. I'll just say that. The record's 130.
Yeah.
What else do we need to say?
I was going to try to do it in numbers. Be like Ray Bork plus.
Jeez.
It's still a high
you gotta
number.
Be quicker than me.
Ray Bork plus
Jeff Skinner is 130, isn't it?
Yeah.
77 plus 53?
Plus 2. Plus Evan Bouchard.
Evan Bouchard. There we go. or here we go.
Yeah. That's how we have to do
Ray
this from now on.
Bork plus Mark Letestu, 77 plus 55.
We
Letestu wore 55.
We'd be very happy with that.
Here's a random quiz for Jay. Maybe I shouldn't use this because it's a good quiz. Name the 2 former Alberta Junior Hockey League most valuable players who both wore number 55 for the Edmonton Oilers. Well, I just gave you one.
I'm just trying to think of who else wore 55.
Mark Letestu and Dylan Holloway.
Dylan Holloway.
Yeah.
You
remember him?
I've heard the name. You know, I'm terrible at trivia.
That's okay.
And speaking of trivia, we got a shake and bake on this mystery athlete.
We don't have... All right, clue number 4.
Let's go roll through them again.
The Hudson's mystery athlete of the game, Hudson's Canada's Pub, trying to win a $25 GC.
Okay, we're tracking for, what is it, Letestu and Ray Bork.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Yeah, we're over
Andrew
100
nailed that. Letestu and Holloway.
Thank you.
Thanks, Andrew.
Appreciate it.
Are you Andrew from Andrew? Okay, what were the
fourth
first
clue
3?
is Hawk. So the first 3 were Hall of Fame, Rookie of the Year, 250, and Hawk. I will be disappointed if no one gets it within the next 3 minutes.
Like hawk, like a bird, or hawk like
H-A-W-K.
Hawk-Tua?
H-A-W-K.
Okay,
the
just
bird.
wanted clarification, you know. I just like to...
That's the spelling. Hall of Fame, Rookie of the Year, 250, and Hawk. If we get to the 5th clue, it'll be an absolute giveaway. So I hope somebody gets it now.
Hall of Fame, Rookie of the Year, 250, Hawk.
So, speaking of baseball, there's a possible rule change. So Commissioner Rob Manfred said there's some buzz around this. It's not happening for sure, but he did say it in an interview. And this is about something called the Golden at Bat. So basically, there's a lot of different ways this could be played out. But basically, in baseball, once per game, you could send whoever you wanted up to bat. Okay? So, let's say Jay Milne and I are teammates on a baseball team. And we're losing 3-2 in the bottom of the 7th with 2 out. And Jay's the best hitter on the team. And in the bottom of the 7th with 2 out, he grounds out to third base. Whatever, he makes an out. Okay? I'm the leadoff hitter in the next inning. And, like I said, we're down a run, and I double. I hit a nice ball to the gap, and I double. And the next batter up is Dolores the Hen. And she's 0 for her last 13 with 9 strikeouts. So our manager says, Golden at bat, Jay Milne's going to bat again. So you go out of the batting order and bring someone in. Now, there's a lot of permutations about this. I saw one of the suggestions was that you could only do it after the 7th inning. You could only do it if you're trailing. There's, if a runner was on base, could he come in and bat, or would it have to be someone that's not already on base? But I even saw an example was, so say Jay led off an inning. His team's down a run. He strikes out. The manager could say, Golden at bat, Jay, go bat again. And then you resume the batting order after that. So it's fairly radical. It certainly goes outside of baseball tradition by a long shot, but it would be something that would add some intrigue, some fan interest, more managerial decisions. And I guess you could say it goes along the lines of some other sports, because in hockey, for the most part, you can put out whoever you want. In football, you can call whatever play you want with whatever personnel. Why stick to a rigid batting order? Bring up your best player in the biggest moments. Your initial reaction to this before we get into the top 3.
My initial reaction is good. Do it. I find baseball, and I've said this, so it's not a surprise
it's not your most
to anybody.
favorite sport.
It's not. I think the season's too long. I think it's somewhat boring. Unless you have, skin in the game, like you're from Milwaukee or you're from Kansas City or you're from Toronto. Okay, I get that. Being from Edmonton, meh. Now, that being said, anything that will enhance that game to make it a little bit more exciting. Now, this was after the 7th inning on, right?
I think that's
Because that's what
The
Cass said earlier.
consensus would be is it would likely be you could only use it after the 7th inning.
Okay, so I think if it were to work, you'd need to immediately replace the person that went up to bat, the golden batter, with a designated runner, a pinch runner, so as to not throw off the batting cycle.
So you're saying if a guy was already on base, he could come bat again and he'd get a runner for himself. So Jay Milne could drive in Jay Milne.
Okay, let's say I was fourth up to bat.
Okay.
And first person got on base, or first person struck out, first person got on base, second batter got struck out. They move me up.
They say you're the golden bat.
The golden bat.
Okay.
1 per game. I bat third. I hit a triple, bring in a run. I'm on third base, pinch runner, come back and bat as the fourth.
So, well, the guy who was supposed to bat third would then bat, and then you would bat again. So you'd have 2 of 5 at bats.
See, I was under the assumption that this just replaced the third batter.
No. It gets inserted.
Okay.
So instead
so
of
even better.
So if the batters due up in an inning were Wilkins, Kubish, Awanak, and then our manager said, no, we Wilkins and Kubish got on base. Milne's going to bat. Awanak still bats after you. So it's inserted. It's an extra at bat. You don't take somebody out of the order, is the way I understand it.
Yeah, and then I'd probably even be more in favor of it because then it would make that pinch runner more palatable.
Right, more palatable.
But no, I don't mind it. Anything to add excitement. Now you're going to have the traditionalists that are going to say, "Oh, this is baseball. You cannot change the rules." I'm sure Awanek would probably say the same. He's more of a traditionalist when it comes to rules, which I understand. You know, for CFL, purists don't want the Rouge to leave, for example, right? Or changes to that rule. Baseball purists would say the same. But, you know, you'd have to then throw out the record book, right? Essentially starting. Let's say this rule came in at the start of the 2026 season. It would be after 2026 and prior to.
Well,
and then, you have the steroid era as well.
But the best hitter on a team could hypothetically get a 162 extra at bats per year,
which is a lot. And it would be the best hitter.
Here's the thing for me. I think this is interesting. It would add strategy. It would probably add some fan excitement. So you get home from work, you turn on a game in the bottom of the 8th, it's 6-3. But the losing team hasn't used their golden at bat yet. You know, but I also think a baseball team is built around a batting order and having depth and being able to generate runs in different ways from different parts of the lineup. Maybe at the top of the order, you can get a double or a single and a steal, and then your third or fourth or fifth guys can drive them in with power. And then when you get to 6, 7, 8, 9, maybe you got to play small ball or try to scratch out a run. I think that's part of the beauty of baseball, as opposed to saying, oh, well, my number 7 hitter drew a walk. Now I got to see if 8 and 9 can find a way to bring him around with maybe a sacrifice or a single or something. I think it's sort of not like it sort of cheapens what baseball is by just saying, well, we'll just put the guy in, you know? Like,
but it's one per game.
To me, it's almost like saying that on one power play per game in the NHL, a team could say we want a 2.5-minute power play instead of 2 minutes. That you just can say, let's do it.
Right.
As opposed to
the golden power play.
The golden power play.
As long as, if the rule comes in, I want it to come in a fashion where the coach or the manager, who's dressed as a baseball player, oddly enough.
He totally is.
Has to throw a miniature replica golden bat.
It's going to be like
onto the field, like he's tossing the
very
challenge
WWE
flag.
Yeah.
It's the MLB's version of the challenge flag. It's a miniature golden replica bat. Throws it onto the field, and then the golden batter needs to bat with
a
golden gloves,
gold-plated bat,
and a golden bat.
Do we have a winner, by the way? Remember, you have to text in the mystery
earlier.
player. Okay.
I didn't want to interrupt the.
No, just because people are starting to put it in the nasty chat.
Yeah,
who won?
People got it. There was. Well, I'll tell you, Corey B was very close. Big Uke was very close, but Brandon beat them to the punch. Congrats, Brandon. He guessed. Well, do you want to give the other clues, Reid?
So the fifth clue would have been Expos, which is a giveaway. Hawk was a pretty big giveaway. This person was inducted into the Baseball Hall of Fame in 2010. He was National League Rookie of the Year in 1977. 250 is where he was drafted overall in 1975. His nickname was the Hawk. He played most of his career with the Expos. Andre Dawson. Not connected to anything today, just a player I liked as a kid.
So congrats, Brandon. You were the winner. Zach will reach out to you in the EST inbox and let you know what to do.
Okay, here's what I want to do, because our top three is even more radical rules changes than the Golden Bat. We'll bring up the hockey one with Tom.
Yes.
And we'll save the one we were discussing for later.
Sure.
So, but I'll do one of them now. The top three for food sausage, the best sausages you will ever eat, locally made and packed full of flavor. Order online or visit them in-store at 6736 99th Street and take advantage of their EST discount. That's right, 10% off your order by entering the online code EST or mention EST in-store. Free delivery in Edmonton on orders over $100. As Food Sausage says, you can't beat our meat. This one I don't think is as radical as the other two we're going to talk about because it is used in Edmonton. And it was used once in the league that I'm going to say should use it all the time. The ELAM ending in the NBA, the target score. I think it's awesome in the CEBL. So the way it works in the CEBL is, once there's the first stoppage after 4 minutes left in the game, they shut off the game clock. So let's say Edmonton is leading Calgary 90-80. The target score becomes, it's 9, right? It's 99?
9 or 8.
I think it's an odd number. I think it's 9. So they say, so this eliminates late game fouling.
First to 99 wins.
The first to 99 and actually Mooner and I went to a game a couple of years ago. I think the Stingers were beating Calgary by like 18 or something when the Elam ending started, and Calgary won. It was the biggest Elam ending comeback ever. So there's a target score. The team that's ahead can't delay and run out the clock. They still need to score. The losing team can't foul and hope for missed foul shots and three-pointers to try to catch up. It's quote-unquote normal basketball. I think this is a great innovation. I got to interview the guy who invented it when I was doing Inside a couple of years ago. He was on the show, really interesting guy. So I would like to see the Elam ending, the target score, whatever you want to see it in the NBA. I think that'd be a great innovation.
I understand why you'd never, ever have buy-in from the NBA.
Probably not.
Because they like their games going longer, especially playoffs games. The CEBL does not have enough money to run overtime with their TSN broadcast, to be quite frank. But I do like it. It's exciting.
And there's always a sudden win, a sudden victory, I guess.
Well, and there's a target, like literally a target score that like when your guy from the Stingers pulls up for that, 3-point play to get over the target score or to the target score, that it's going to be a massive celebration, right? I love the target score. I think it's a very unique way to finish a basketball game. Will the NBA ever go anywhere near it? Probably not.
Probably not. They did it in an all-star game.
Sure.
Right? And I think for that one, they shut the clock off after the third quarter and made the target score 22 or 25 higher.
Probably 55.
Or something. Yeah, in an all-star game. All right, that's number one. We're going to get to number two with Tom because it's a hockey one, and then Jay and I had an interesting number three, and Tom's going to also preview the Oilers and the Golden Knights. Yes, Gazzola next on the Reid Wilkins Show with Jay Milne.
Zach Hyman will miss another game for the Oilers as they face the Golden Knights with a chance to win 4 straight games for the first time this season. Join Tom Gazzola for the game at Boston Pizza Westgate when he goes live for the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show at 7 with Hernan Salas, only on EST. There's 6 games live in the NHL right now with the Sabres up 1-0 over the Abs while the Kraken and Hurricanes are tied at 1 apiece. All the other games stay scoreless. Elsewhere, Buck Pierce has been named as the BC Lions' next head coach. Pierce previously won a Grey Cup playing with the Lions in 2006 before spending the last 10 years as a part of the Blue Bombers coaching staff. In the NBA, 76ers lead 13-8 midway through the first. The Pistons trail 10-4 against the Bucks early in that one, while the Wizards are down by 9 against the Cavs before we see the Raptors hit the court with the Pacers. We got a quick timeout before Tom Gazzola joins Reid and Jay. I'm Zachary Kubish, and you're up to date.
You want the heavy hitters on your team, both on and off the ice. If you've been injured in a car accident, call the heavy hitters of injury law. James H. Brown and Associates, Alberta Injury Lawyers. With over 200 years of combined injury law experience, their precedent-setting lawyers are ready to help. Locally owned and proud Edmonton Oilers fans, James H. Brown and Associates wants to support you with their unrivaled experience, unrivaled results, and unrivaled commitment. When accidents happen, head to jameshbrown.com.
You could set up your Christmas tree in the last available spot in the house, or you can create the space you need with Sentinel Storage. Get the most out of Christmas. Shop Canadian, store Canadian. Try 4 weeks free. Visit sentinelstorage.ca.
Edmonton Sports Talk delivers a mass audience of key influential customers to your business, all while you associate your company brand with the biggest names, the hottest sports news, and teams from every league around the globe. Oilers and Elks, NHL, NFL, Major League Baseball, and the association, Formula One, soccer, golf, oh sweet mama! The excitement is palatable on Edmonton Sports Talk. It's where fans go to get their sports fix and where our partners find the most loyal consumers. Contact us today and see how our team on Edmonton Sports Talk can score the biggest goals for your business. With various advertising options available, email business@edmontonsportstalk.com or head to our website and send a message at edmontonsportstalk.com.
Hey Edmonton, ready to take advantage of lower rates and better pricing? South Fort Chevrolet in Fort Saskatchewan has you covered. From rugged trucks to sleek SUVs. And with over 40 years in business, you can trust that you're getting the best deal on your new ride. As the proud title sponsor of the Nielsen Show, EST listeners can drive a little to save a lot with South Fort Chevrolet's transparent pricing and down-to-earth sales team. Visit us today in Fort Saskatchewan or online at southfortchev.com.
We have the Red Wings and the Bruins on the ESTV here in the James H. Brown studio. No score, 12:43 left in the first period. James H. Brown Personal Injury Law Firm, the heavy hitters of injury law. With over 200 years of experience, James H. Brown will get you the settlement you deserve. Visit them at jameshbrown.com today. I'm so excited about the TV. jameshbrown.com. Book your private consultation. So Oilers and Golden Knights at 8. The Oil Stream pregame show. Detroit has scored by instant update on a goal thanks to the ESTV. Detroit goes up 1-0.
TV for Reid.
Amazing stuff. 12:29 left in the first. 7 o'clock Oil Stream pregame show with Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas. Tom joins us now. Hello, Tom. It's Reid and Jay.
Who? Don't know him.
Is he echoing to everybody? It's good now? Okay. You look great, buddy. How's your day going?
Thank you. I've had a lovely day. I love you guys, by the way. I know exactly who you are. Congratulations on the ESTV. I'm very happy for both of you. Jay, it was hilarious listening to you try to get that thing going. The struggle was real.
It was definitely real.
Now you guys are two divas in broadcasting who have been satisfied.
Yes.
Are you happy?
Yes. Very happy, very satisfied. But what we're also going to do is we're going to get some sort of horse racing app or where we can watch some live horse races. And
that's a good idea. Place the odd wager.
Yeah, just roll the dice once in a while. Tom, if so, all I've been able to do thus far with this trusty remote here is put on TSN app and the Sportsnet app. What do you suggest would be the third app that would go on the ESTV?
I'm partial to YouTube, honestly. I watch a lot of YouTube. Yeah. YouTube has become incredible. Obviously, we added it to our audio stream when we started this station, and I swear YouTube's awesome. But that's the one I'd go to. There's always going to be some that you add. I'm sure Awanik has a million different suggestions.
Yeah, Learning Channel probably.
Yeah, he's a tech wizard. I love History Channel, but I'm a different kind of dork. Smithsonian's great, and but this is a sports channel, I guess.
Kind of had you pegged as an HGTV kind of guy, but I've seen some of the renos and some of the changes you've made at your house, and you seem to have it all down.
Thank you. Have you been here?
No, I've just seen pictures. I've never been invited.
I've been there.
Yeah, you guys should come by sometime. Well, Reid's been here. Yeah. I've been critiqued as being minimalistic.
You suck.
Thank you. Yeah. That's what I was told yesterday by someone in regard to my place, and she insisted on coming over and putting up a Christmas tree. But I'll let her take care of that.
Oh, that's
but,
kind. All right.
Yeah.
We're combining my top 3 for food sausage with this segment. So top 3 even more radical rule changes than the golden at bat in baseball.
Oh God.
So we threw out the having the target score, the ELAM ending that they have in the CBL, have that in the NBA. So I have one for hockey.
Okay.
And Jay found this intriguing. Oh, Boston just tied it. Instant update, everybody. Ding, ding. All right. So in the NHL, if a shootout goes past 3 rounds, or maybe past 5, but if it goes longer, the opposing coach picks who shoots on his goaltender.
Oh, that would make it very interesting. You'd see a lot of 6th and 5th defensemen going, and a bunch of grinders and 3rd and 4th liners getting a shot. I don't mind that, Reid. I mean, that kind of is kind of like what do they call it? The jailbreak rule that they're implementing in the PWHL. And I think a couple of leagues in Europe have that already, where you can't change if you take a penalty until, you get an opportunity after the next faceoff. I don't mind some of these tweaks. Now, this golden bat rule in baseball, I don't really like. It feels like we're getting into like arcade style video games of the 90s rules. You know what I mean? And I know you could say the shootout in hockey is kind of like that, and I agree wholeheartedly. I wouldn't mind seeing in hockey to end games 10 minutes of 3-on-3 OT, and you can't take the puck back over the blue line and regroup once you get into the offensive zone. And Belzy was telling me they do that in Russia because if you take it back, you get penalized. I think that's a good way to end games and nullify shootouts, which I think we've grown tired of.
I wonder if they are going to go to 3-on-3, or to 10 minutes 3-on-3, which I don't think would be, like, we're trying to do radical stuff here, but I get what you're saying. The over and back thing, that's come up. I think there are some players that advocate for that, even in the NHL. In the Four Nations face-off, the round robin overtime will be 10 minutes of 3-on-3.
Good.
I wonder if that's a bit of a trial balloon for doing in the NHL. Now, there may not be an overtime game in the 6th round robin games, but I do think that's going to happen in the NHL. I think they'll go to 10 minutes of 3-on-3 because the players ultimately do like it. I don't know if the fatigue is going to kill them that much. No. And guys lower down the depth chart might think, like, I'd love to get a shift 3-on-3. And the guys higher up are like, well, this is an extra chance for me to get points. Like, how many more points did Draisaitl and McDavid have in their careers because of overtime? And probably at least a couple dozen, if not more.
25, 30, absolutely. The other like crazy rule change I would, advocate for is get rid of the rouge straight up.
Oh God.
Why would you even say that?
Because it's dumb. It needs to go.
All right.
Don't you roll your eyes at me, Milne.
Look, that'll never be removed from the game.
It needs to go.
There could be an amendment made to that rule. Because everybody saw the Toronto kicker celebrate as he missed a field goal, but it went through the end zone. That really rubs most fans the wrong way. So you have something to that point. We had a discussion about it, so I could see an amendment, but never removing.
We've talked about it way too much, especially since the CFL season is now over. So anyway, all right.
Well, okay.
Good suggestions for and we have a football radical rule change related to the NFL that we're going to do when we get back or after Tom's interview. So, all right, Oilers in Vegas, Tom. So Hyman's not going to play. No lineup changes. The Vegas Golden Knights, you've heard the term I've used to describe them. They play like miserable bastards, and I mean that as a compliment. Is like we talk a lot about identity. Are they one of the most defined identity franchises in the NHL right now?
Yeah, I think that's a fair way to put it. They're so cutthroat when you look at the management and how Kelly McCrimmon and George McPhee have molded this team in the 7 years that they've been in the National Hockey League, I believe, or maybe 8 now. But it's win at all costs, miserable old bastards. Yeah, that's a great way to describe it. And they're so reluctant and such a pain in the ass. And I think, Edmonton has generally played them well, but you always expect a tough night when you watch a Golden Knights game for the opponent. And unfortunately, maybe for the Oilers, Utah didn't have a tough night on Saturday when they smacked around the Golden Knights 6-0 at the Fortress, as they like to call it. And that's going to create an even more angry and pissed off Golden Knights team. So they're going to want to try to take that out on the Oilers tonight. But Edmonton's been playing well, and Edmonton's going to have to be prepared for a strong push from Vegas. But yeah, this is a team that is right out of the gates thorny. They can beat you multiple ways. They can beat you with skill. They can beat you physically. They can win one night on goaltending. Their defense can hurt you physically, and then at the other end of the rink, hurt you on the scoreboard. There's so many elements to this team that are favorable for the Vegas Golden Knights. You want to hope that they catch you or you catch them on a bad night, and then at the same time, maybe you can expose some of their few flaws and take advantage, like I guess Utah did the other night.
Tommy, the forward lines have been talked about a lot with Kapanen and Podkolzin, and what happens when Hyman's back from injury and Arvidsson's back from injury, and where do they go? And even throughout the start of the season, I mean, or some Oilers fans love it, some Oilers fans hates it. It's very polarizing. Is McDavid and Draisaitl on the same top line, kind of a break glass in case, kind of situation? How come that doesn't happen on the defensive pairings? How come, Bouchard struggled defensively earlier in the year, and I know there's been injuries there as well, but now Nurse is back. But how come you don't see that, line changing going on so much with the defensive pairings?
Yeah, good question, Jay. I think with Bouchard, Ekholm's kind of become the Bouchard whisperer, and they tried Bouchard, I think, with Nurse a year or two ago before Ekholm got there, or maybe it was early in Ekholm's tenure as a member of the Edmonton Oilers, and it went sideways in a hurry. So I think that they don't want to mess with a good thing, even though Bouchard has had a slow start defensively. Ekholm had a few struggles, some of them because of Bouchard, but it seems like those guys are starting to round into form. I think Bouchard's going to be okay by the time we get to game 45. I think we're going to be talking about, wow, his defensive game has really improved. With Nurse, you're seeing a little bit of that, Jay, with the promotion of Brett Kulak, who's supposed to be the steadying presence on the third pairing. And I think, we're watching Mark Stewart and Paul Coffey work Brett Kulak up with Nurse in certain situations, and it has benefited the blue line and stabilized it a little bit. And we're watching incremental growth from Ty Emberson as he gets sheltered a little bit. And then even Troy Stetcher lately has looked all right, which is good. But I think it's okay to mix and match on the fly, and this coaching staff seems to be adept to that, and it's benefited this team in the win column, and I think they'll continue to do that until they can get that trade done to upgrade the right side of the blue line. I wouldn't be surprised if we could see 2 more defensemen join this team by the trade deadline this year.
So how many more consecutive games will Podkolzin score? And then B, at what point will you start recognizing he can play in the NHL?
Well, to clarify, Riedrich, I have said from the outset that Podkolzin is a good fourth line, maybe sometimes third line guy. I maintain that, and it is good to see him contributing offensively and taking advantage of his opportunity, moonlighting with the top 6. Listen, he's got this 3-game heater going. Do I think it goes for much longer? No. Do I think he stays up with Draisaitl, maybe McDavid? Yes, I think that he's earned himself that opportunity. Even with Arvidsson eventually coming back, if that happens, when that happens, who knows? Because that's shrouded in mystery. But then Hyman as well. So I think Kapanen will be the first move down. But good for Podkolzin. He does things that is getting him this. It's nice that he goes in and does early work before practice. He's benefited from that. We got really excited last year, collective we fans, media alike, the team perhaps, when Draisaitl was playing with McLeod and Fogle for like 2 weeks, and people were like, have they found their second line? The answer was no. They found a solution for a couple of weeks, and it was nice. They had a good run. But I think Podkolzin, like, let him run with this, and it's great that he's scoring. And do I mind being wrong about him for the time being? No, that's great. Like, this is fantastic. What a diamond in the rough they potentially have found. And if he proves me wrong the rest of the season, I'll eat crow on it. I have no problem with that. But I think he's still ideally a bottom six guy. But let him ride it out. This is good. It's his line, for crying out loud. His name's Podkolzin.
Podkolzin. He's amazing.
Yeah.
Tommy, as we enter the first game here in December, 13 games in December for the Oilers. 9 are home, 4 are away. But at the start of the season, when you look at the schedule, you say, okay, this is a good chance with the home schedule before Christmas for the Oilers to really ramp it up, get some points.
Mm-hmm.
But that's been their weakness as a 5-6-1 home record this year. Do you think that they're starting to play better and will be able to capitalize on this, having 9 games at home in the month of December?
They should, Jay, like just in general, because teams are supposed to be better at home, and for whatever reason hasn't really happened so far for the team. But I mean, I'll say they should too, because the schedule this month is favorable. And I was looking at all the games. I know you gave me the assignment of looking ahead to this month, and I appreciate that. I thought I screwed up and missed an email from you, but the games they're playing this month, I went through a couple times, and I'm like, 9 of them I think are winnable in general. Like you look at the teams that are coming in, where they're at now, how the Oilers stack up against them, and you go, well, they should be able to pull off 9 wins. And then they've got the Golden Knights a couple of times. That's going to be tough. They get Minnesota again in Mini. That'll be tough. Florida comes here. That'll be tough. But outside of that, like the rest of the teams that they play, especially at home with a home-heavy schedule, they should be able to win a good chunk of those games and turn around the home record and then get on their way to, cruising to potentially top spot in the Pacific, or if not, second place for a 6th consecutive year. Yeah, they should be able to turn it around, guys. A good team wins at home. An even better team is strong on the road, and the Oilers have done that at 8-3-1 so far.
Tom, where are you tonight?
I'll be at Boston Pizza Westgate, $5 off medium pizzas, and $1 off Molson and Coors products. And they've got the Coors Light virtual golf simulator set up as well. It's going to be a great time. Lots of great prizes, boys. We've given away an Oilers jersey the last couple of games, a bunch of great swag, and other prizes as well.
Tom, you're a great guest to have on this program. Have an outstanding broadcast tonight.
Okay, I love you guys.
We love you. That is Tony Gazzola from the Oil
That's
Stream
my name.
and the Bozone and whatever else he was misidentified on, covering UFC, all that kind of stuff.
Those are great. Those are just treasures, aren't they?
Yeah.
Those pictures that were taken. Zach, was it you that took the picture of the UFC chair?
I wasn't there. That was him.
Okay. That was just legendary.
Yeah.
And now we can just continually mispronounce his name, and everyone's in on it.
We're
It's
like,
fun.
hey, yeah, we're just going along with it.
Well, if there's one person here that doesn't mind a little playful banter, it's
Tom.
our
Tom's
dear
great.
Tom. You bet.
780-218-9999 is how you text the EST inbox. You can participate in the Nasty Chat on YouTube. You've probably already given us a thumbs up. Encourage your friends and neighbors and relatives to give us a thumbs up as well, as we're going to try to eclipse our show record of 130 by 6 o'clock. We'll finish up with our top 3. It's the Reid Wilkins Show with Jay Milne.
There's 10 games in the NHL with Stuart Skinner getting the call for the Oilers as they face the Golden Knights. And you can join Tom Gazzola for the game down at Boston Pizza Westgate when he goes live for the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show at 7 alongside Hernan Salas. Only on EST. There's 6 live games with the Sabres potting 4 goals in the first 15 minutes against the Avs. The Red Wings with the Bruins and the Kraken Hurricanes, with both of those games tied at 1 apiece, while the Penguins lead 2-0 over the Panthers. Elsewhere, Buck Pierce has been named as the BC Lions' next head coach. Pierce previously won a Grey Cup playing with the Lions in 2006 before spending the last 10 years as a part of the Blue Bombers coaching staff. In the NBA, the Cavs hold the Wizards 33-18. The Hornets trail by a dozen against the 76ers. The Bucks lead 36-29 over the Pistons, with the Knicks and Magic just getting underway. After that, we see the Raptors hit the court with the Pacers. On the other side of the break, it's a final segment of the Reid Wilkins Show with Jay Milne. I'm Zachary Kubich, keeping you in the loop.
Wake up with the Nielsen Show with Dustin Nielsen and Lieutenant Eric. Weekday mornings 6 to 9 on EdmontonSportsTalk.com.
Book your holiday party at the CBH today. The Canadian Brewhouse is your ultimate destination for events, parties, fundraisers, and more. 'Tis the season to celebrate. Visit and book now in-store or at thecanadianbrewhouse.com.
Looking for a winning strategy for your retirement? Contact me, Joaquin Gage at K4 Financial, where expertise meets dedication. I will always look for a careful approach to your retirement, ensuring your financial future is secure. From tailored strategies to clear, actionable advice, I'm here to guide you every step of the way. Don't leave your future to chance. Get in touch with me, Joaquin Gage, today at k4financial.ca or email joaquin.gage@k4financial.ca to start planning for a brighter future and a more secure retirement.
Edmonton Sports Talk delivers a mass audience of key influential customers to your business, all while you associate your company brand with the biggest names, the hottest sports news, and teams from every league around the globe. Oilers and Elks, NHL, NFL, Major League Baseball, and the Association, Formula One, soccer, golf. Oh, sweet mama! The excitement is palatable on Edmonton Sports Talk. It's where fans go to get their sports fix and where our partners find the most loyal consumers. Contact us today and see how our team on Edmonton Sports Talk can score the biggest goals for your business. With various advertising options available, email business@edmontonsportstalk.com or head to our website and send a message at edmontonsportstalk.com.
At Mind 360, we invite you to embark on your mental health journey in a safe and comfortable space. Conveniently located in St. Albert, Mind 360 has a diverse team of experienced clinicians that offer a broad range of tailored services for children, adults, and families. Furthermore, we are very proud to serve our military, veterans, and first responders. If you're looking for counseling, treatment, or assessment, understand that you are not alone. Contact Mind 360 at mind360.ca to book an appointment today.
Appreciate you tuning in this afternoon. Good chat with Tom Gazzola. Jed Roberts joined us in studio earlier. We also talked to Danny Webster, who covers the Golden Knights for the Las Vegas Journal-Review. Is it a journal or a review? It's both. On the ESTV, Detroit and Boston tied 1-1, 2:24 left in the first period. What a treat to have a working television in the studio.
Who would have thought?
Coobs TV is still here.
Which is also a working television. It just isn't plugged in.
Did you see the meme Dustin posted?
Yeah, that's exactly how I feel.
I think that was from a listener.
Well, that was from a listener. My mistake.
It was just great. Keep hammering those thumbs up. Let's try it. We got 15 minutes here. We're 11 away. Well, 12 away from breaking a record.
Yeah, we're doing well.
Let's do it.
Yeah, don't be a pleasure delayer. Himu Tartakainen says, are there any pleasure delayers in the chat? Delay no further. The show's done in about 13 or 14 minutes. All right. Fun show. We're back tomorrow, of course, 3 to 6 p.m. Live programming on Edmonton Sports Talk, 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. We're very proud of that. The Nielsen Show will kick it off at 6 tomorrow morning. Again, word of mouth helps. We need you out there. Point people in our direction.
Yeah, it's super easy.
Yeah. And we love doing it.
I go in my car.
I've been laughing most of the day today.
Yeah, my belly is sore. That's for sure.
I've been incredibly immature.
You know, what do you... I just go in the car and it syncs to iHeartRadio. Like you
can just... So if your phone's on your Bluetooth and you have iHeartRadio,
very easy.
You just start playing. Yeah, it's really cool. Oh, okay. 780-218-9999. Do we have any more for the William Huff off-topic topic? Nightmares or stories about
No,
setting up electronics?
I think I got to most of them. This one I saved from earlier. Lucky Charlie said, if they wanted it to be a best-on-best tournament, then Czech, Russia, etc. should be involved. The whole thing feels gimmicky to me. I'd just rather have the Olympics.
Well, next year he will, but Russia won't be in that either. So that's one thing to remember. But yeah, there are some good hockey countries that aren't going to be able to play.
Barry the Cheater, we did get the TV set up. It's called the ESTV. We're currently operating with 2 fully operational apps. I think YouTube will be added, though.
Yeah, we'll add YouTube.
We could do an Inception, like a triple Inception, because I always have the nasty chat here, so I can monitor it. But if it was on there as well, it'd be crazy. It wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. You
did pretty well.
Secretly, I was nervous today coming in because I knew this was going to have to happen. Thankfully, Dustin went out and got the extension cords. Very much so appreciated. I appreciate that.
Who's clapping?
For Dustin.
Oh, for Dustin.
All hail Dustin. And the coup, chirped
as he often does.
As he does. So that was very appreciated. That if I wasn't getting chirped by the coup, I wouldn't feel normal.
Rip City Step says, yeah, you guys just need to install an UpDog.
No, not today.
Not doing that. We know that one.
We know that.
We know that one.
Wow, we are Russia. This is from Maddie, who's sitting on the couch right there. Russia was at the last Olympics as individual and neutral athletes, so might have a team like that, maybe?
I'm not sure.
Who
would I never thought. Remember when the Soviet Union broke up? What was it for the 92 Olympics, and they were just called the Unified Team?
I don't remember that as well.
Okay, my apologies. I think that was for the 92 Olympics. We're almost at a new record, by the way, for thumbs up on YouTube, so don't delay. Get in there right now. You could be the thumb that puts us over the top. We have to finish our top 3. I like how we've did this today for food sausage. So top 3 even more radical sports rule changes than the golden bat in baseball, which would allow you, hypothetically, once a game to bat anybody in any spot. Just send that person out to bat. So we said have a target score, the ELAM ending in the NBA, like they do in the Canadian Elite Basketball League that the Edmonton Stingers play in. We were bantering about that in the NHL. If a shootout goes past 3 or 5 rounds, the opposing coach starts to pick who's going to shoot. That would be something. Now, this one's mostly yours, Jay, so I'll let you set it up, and then we were off air talking about some variations to it, which we'll get into.
Well, I thought there should be a football rule change that would be, totally out of left field. Everybody knows how much I love kickers, so this would put the pressure on the kickers that in an NFL game, there would no longer be ties. There would no longer be the opportunity for a tie where after the overtime period, if it runs out,
this is
right
NFL
now
specific.
NFL specific.
Right.
After a tie, which is very rare. Very rare.
There were a couple in the CFL
I think
this
2
year,
or 3 a
but
year.
They're still pretty rare too.
Right? After a tie, you have the kickers line up. Each kicker, snapper, holder, starting at the 35-yard line, kicking, and they move back of increments of 5 yards every time they make. When you miss, game over.
Unless both people miss.
Unless both people miss, then it's a redo. I think that would be...
This would be a tense one. So you're saying no rush from the defense. It's just a snap hold. It's just the 3 guys go out there all by themselves.
This is what they do all practice.
Right.
This is all they do all practice.
As you've often reminded me.
Kick, hold, go do your thing, just like you do on the other field.
Right.
When all the other guys are practicing.
Go be alone by yourself.
Yeah. I think they'd be very comfortable because it's a situation they're used to. Other than the thousands of fans, but
all right. That's a neat idea. Do I think the NFL would ever do that? No, but it would be intriguing. Here's what I would say. You flip a coin to give one team first choice. Yeah, we may be the new record for thumbs up on YouTube. Incredible. Thank you, Nasties. All of you are awesome. And whoever wins the coin toss chooses what yard line they start on. So they flip a coin. It's Atlanta, New Orleans. Atlanta wins. Atlanta says, okay, 55-yarder. Let's go. Let's do it. And then if they both make or both miss, then New Orleans picks the next yard line.
I love it. I'm all for the more intricacies of this unique rule or change of play. I even went and doubled it down and said, okay, if you win the coin toss, you get to select one of two things. First thing would be yardage, like you proposed.
Right.
The second is you can also pick, like they do at the start of the game, wind direction and all that, but you would choose who goes first and who goes second.
Oh, okay.
Get the mind games going on these
so
kickers, too.
Would you sooner be the kicker kicking to potentially prolong the game or to potentially win the game?
Win. That's the same thing. Prolong and,
Well, no, because if the first kicker made it, the second kicker is kicking to prolong the game. And then he would kick first.
But unless the first kicker misses.
Then you're kicking to win.
Then you're kicking to win.
Yeah, you don't know until the first kicker goes.
So would you rather be first or second? I'd rather be first. Put the pressure on.
Establish that I made it.
Yeah.
And then even if you miss it, then the other guy has to make it to win.
Right.
Right. Which could be, I don't think this will ever happen, but that's what we're doing. Even more radical rule changes. That was the point of these, to do things that might be interesting that we think they would probably never do. I don't think in the NHL they would ever let an opposing coach pick a shooter for the other team. Oh, God, that would be fun.
No goalies, though,
because,
right?
look at no goalies. But last year's Oilers team, okay, so the shootout goes to the 6th round. Now the other team can pick. The other coach is probably thinking, okay, Vinny Desharnais, knowing maybe Vinny's got the best move in the NHL. Maybe he's just going to come in and go full slap shot. I don't think they would ever do that. But to me, it's no more or less gimmicky than this golden at bat they're talking about that they're apparently considering in Major League Baseball.
I don't think any of these would ever be adapted, unfortunately.
I don't think the NBA... To me, the NBA one makes the most sense. You know what I mean? Like, it would have...
For viewers, not necessarily for the broadcast or NBA. You know how many extra commercials you can fit in during the slap
those
off
late season timeouts
that
and
happen
stuff.
in the timeouts.
But that's the one thing about the NBA. It's all this. It's pretty much constant action, and then the last 2 minutes takes 20 minutes to play. This would eliminate that. You just have to keep playing. I mean, you could call timeouts, sure, but you're not calling a timeout to get the ball. Now, it eliminates the dramatic buzzer-beating shot, but there's still the game ends on a basket, right? And it does eliminate, like if the target score is 100 and the score is 99-98. That's pretty exciting. Next basket wins.
I think it's fantastic.
If you're 3 points away from the target score and you're down a point, you have to shoot a 3 to win, don't you? Because if you score on a 2, you're giving the other team a chance to win it with a 2. All that kind of stuff goes into it.
Yeah, there's definitely some... I've never seen a close game come out of the target score. I've been to several CEBL games. I've watched quite a few. I've never seen one that was, oh, wow, this is really coming down. I've seen a couple comebacks, though.
Yes, well, I saw that one.
Which maybe that's the strongest case for this, is that you're going to have more comebacks because the team that's ahead might lay off a bit, but the team that's behind by double digits might really pour it on.
Right. Anyway, that's just some fun we're having. Even more radical rule changes. It seems like we got a goal? Detroit?
Oh, maybe this is a replay.
Or is this a replay? I think that's a replay. Because I think, they're in the intermission. Sorry. It's 1-1 Detroit-Boston in the intermission.
We're going to have to get a siren in here, a horn, a goal
we'll get
horn.
one of those, who was it, Budweiser that had the goal lights? We'll have one for every team. All 32 teams. They'll be, who's going off now? But it seems like baseball might at least try this at the minor league level before they bring it to the majors. I mean, baseball's being a little more innovative. They were successful in making the games go by faster, right? They made the bases a little bigger. They've made the rule changes with how many batters the relief pitcher has to pitch to and all that kind of stuff. So baseball might actually do this. They might do one of the most innovative things that you could do. The golden at bat, just put somebody into bat. Somebody out, somebody who's already in the game can bat out of order.
It's interesting, for sure. Makes you think. It's probably one of the more viable, major changes or drastic changes to a game.
Yeah. Well, it does add into a little more of the Monday morning quarterback analysis. It's like, oh, why didn't he wait to use it?
Why didn't he throw his golden miniature bat on the field?
What?
It was in his pocket, his tight manager pockets.
Yeah. Well, that's the fun. That it would make for a lot of fun chat. Okay, so you got either the Yankees, you have Judge or Soto. But on that particular day, little Jay Milne, who you just called up from the minors, is 2 for 3 with a double and a homer. Well, don't you want to put the hot bat in?
Yeah,
you got to go with the hot bat for the golden bat, don't you?
I love it. So then just think all the bat holders in the box, they'd have to double the size of that. So everybody had their own individual
Everybody
golden
has
bat.
their individual golden bat.
I like that. And thank you to our esteemed colleague, Joaquin Gage. He said, just gave both you yahoos my thumbs up. You should be good now.
137, new record.
New record, PB.
We went from the record being 122 to 130, now to 137. We appreciate that. We love connecting with all of you. All right, Oilers, Vegas. Tonight, I expect, Vegas is always angry, as I've been saying, especially after getting beat 6-0. And I do think they get up to beat the Oilers, and we saw them end the Oilers' 16-game win streak last season. Remember, they got a late empty netter, and they celebrated more enthusiastically than you usually would, I think, with an empty net goal. They didn't want the Oilers to tie the record on their watch. The Oilers didn't start well in Utah. Probably didn't either start great in Denver, though they had a pretty good night overall against the Avalanche, and that's often been the knock on the Oilers. They're a slow-starting team. They wait and see what type of a game it's going to be until they really get going. I think the Oilers got to be ready early because I think Vegas is going to have that attitude is we want to pound and be up 2-0 10 minutes in.
Yeah, fast start. It's critical in any game, but against this team coming off that loss, it's even more important and relevant tonight.
138. We got another thumb. Maybe Joaquin found a third one.
Jeez, let's see
if
we can get the 140. I mean, we're so close, 2 away.
The stream will resume at 7 o'clock. The GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show with Tom Gazzola and her. There we go, 139. And Hearn Salas. The game is at 8. Oilers against the Golden Knights. Fun show today. Thanks to Zachary Kubish, our technical producer and sports update deliverer. He's the glue guy. I'm Reid. Thanks for checking out the show.
Get to know the winners, props, plays, parlays, and more with Nielsen and Hustler. Weekday mornings at 11 on The Lock Shop. Only on EdmontonSportsTalk.com.